Are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching ABL Live. You could be anywhere in the whole wide world, which rather means I definitely appreciate you for that. We got a whole lot going on tonight. A whole lot of topics that have been happening. Rest in peace to Kobe Bryant, worldwide icon. Big time icon United States, big time icon China, Europe, South America, everywhere. Rest in peace to him. CNN, Don Lemon, hating Trump voters. Did you see his apology? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend groups of people. I was laughing at a joke. Well, the joke was about groups of people. So what if there was a joke about the LGBTQIA ABCDEFG community, and somebody laughed at it hysterically. Then they came back and said, oh, I don't want to say anything against the LGBTQ, every letter in the alphabet community. I was laughing at that one joke. How would that go over? I don't think it will go over too well. But hey, I guess there's different standards for different people. I guess if you're a Don Lemon, you could do whatever you want. Whatever the case may be, we'll talk about that issue, the other issue, and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all again for joining. You could be anywhere, but you are right here with me live on the show. And I thank you for that. 1000%. Thank you. Alrighty. And I am here. I'm on with you. Let me go ahead and make sure everything's straight on my end. What else we got going on? Kobe, of course, rest in peace. Don Lemon hating Trump voters. CNN hating Trump voters. Joe Biden hating voters, period. If you're not for Joe Biden, get the F out the way. That's pretty much how he is carrying it. Touching on people, poking them in the chest. It's like, sir, I understand you want to get your point across, but you don't got to be so grabby and touchy-feely, okay? Just leave me alone. I'm not really understanding what how the strategy is working. Is his team telling them to tell us to not vote for him? If so, they need to get fired, because that's not really a winning strategy. If you're trying to win a race, you shouldn't tell people, hey, don't vote for me. That's not really intelligent, in my humble opinion. You should say, hey, vote for me. And if there's a problem that you have, let's try to work through it. And if you can't at that particular point in time, you need to let them know, hey, trust in me, believe in me, we'll get to an amicable conclusion, not just this whole thing of, oh, we're not going to do anything. Don't vote for me, vote for somebody else. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But hey, whatever it is whatever it is. And what else? Oh, Chris Wallace got wrecked live on Fox News by Katie Pavlich. That was a great thing to see. Chris Wallace is no Mike Wallace. Rest in peace to Mike Wallace. He's been gone for quite a while, quite a few years. He's no Mike Wallace. Mike Wallace, I think, was on 60 Minutes, if I'm not mistaken. That's not him at all. Chris, I'm not really sure what's happened. I respected him for a long time watching the Sunday shows, but now I can't even watch the Sunday show on Fox because he's there. I think he's there. I mean, I wouldn't know if he's still there or not because I have stopped watching it. I've not seen it for a very long time because you have a never Trumper. I'm not really sure what the purpose is, because the never Trumpers have to understand, if not for a guy like Trump, you would have Hillary Clinton in office. So which one do you want? Some would say, oh, it shouldn't be between the lesser of two evils. I mean, look, you're not going to always get what you want. I'm not really sure what Chris Wallace wanted. Maybe he wanted a Ted Cruz or somebody like that. Okay, that's fine. That might be who you wanted, but guess what? You didn't get him. So what are you going to do right now? In the meantime, in between time, what are you really going to do? Either you're going to rock with the current president, the Republican in office, or you're just going to let the Democrats come on in. Or you make the case for the Democrats to march in. I don't really understand the narrative. I don't understand his intention behind what he's doing. It's kind of strange to me, but it was great to see him get wrecked on TV. And it was funny how he was trying to argue against Katie Pavlich. Meanwhile, he was not disagreeing with what she was saying. Like they were agreeing with each other. So it was like, where's the argument, sir? Maybe you're trying to argue on an obscure point that she's not necessarily even making. But that's when people do that, they've lost the actual argument and they don't have much of a leg to stand on. So it is what it is. I'm glad that he was able to get embarrassed like that on television. It let people know what time it is with Chris Wallace that they didn't know already. It let people know that he's not really on their side. And it's a shame because I liked Chris Wallace, but I just don't understand what's going on with him right now. So it is what it is. But back to CNN. Um the whole thing was funny. Now the guy that was talking, this was a panel, if you didn't see it. This was a panel discussion with Don Lemon. I guess it was his show. Not sure if it was or not, but he was in the center of the screen. On his left was some guy. I don't know his name. The other guy was Rick Wilson. He is a so-called conservative Republican strategist, but I can't tell. He is a Republican the same way Ana Navarro is a Republican. Republican in name only, literally a rhino, RINO, Republican in name only. That's Rick Wilson, 1,000%. He was on there like making fun of Trump voters. It's like, sir, don't you understand that Trump has like a 95% approval rating among Republicans? So if you are a Republican and you're not just disagreeing, it's okay to not agree with Trump. That's fine. You got disagreements. Okay, that's cool. But then when you want to like make jokes and laugh at not just Trump, but Trump supporters, the entire base, millions of people, what are you thinking about? And then it was funny because he got on Twitter talking about, oh, you want to feign outrage, this, that, and the third. It's like, nobody's feigning outrage. You're just pointing out the obvious. It's like, come on, man. You're talking about millions of people and you are a Republican. What are you doing? Obviously, your whole role on there is just to attack the president. And that is the whole role of CNN. People say to those of us that are on the right, they say, oh, you guys are just conspiracy theorists. You're wearing tinfoil hats. CNN is not here to try to make you guys out to be anything other than what you are. It's like, wait a minute. Every time I turn on CNN, there's something negative against Trump, conservatives, Trump voters. Anything that could be seen as even mildly conservative is just raged against on CNN and many other mainstream media networks. It's to the point now where CNN has no credibility. And like I said in my video, they've fallen from grace. At one point, they were a respected organization. People wanted to watch CNN. They look forward to CNN. And now it's worse than TMZ. TMZ, people don't take seriously because they're really a tabloid. But they often have better information and better practices than CNN, which is a shame, really. That's like saying that a National Enquirer is better than the New York Times, which it might be at this point. It might be. The New York Times is a so-called paper of record, nothing but a liberal rag. At least the National Enquirer is entertaining. I can get something out of it rather than a bunch of propaganda and garbage and probably some Chinese ads to sell you on some toxic goods that come from their particular country. But I digress. The whole point is that a lot of these mainstream media organizations are falling way, way low, way down to the wayside, but it is what it is. And thank y'all for being here. I definitely appreciate you. Please like the video if you've liked what you heard so far. If you like my content in general, please like the video. And if you're not subscribed, you're a first-time viewer or medium-time or long-time viewer, please go ahead and subscribe right now and click that bell as well so you get notified when I go live and post a new video. Also, if you're listening to this on any of the audio streaming platforms, please do whatever you can over there to help. I don't know if it's rate, share, all of that, because I'm announcing it right now. What I'm going to do is put these podcasts up on different audio platforms. People have been asking me for a long time, maybe even years, to do it. I wasn't really listening, but okay, I'm doing it now. I have a lot more things I'll be rolling out in the next few weeks, but the first one I'll do is put this particular show on the audio streaming platforms. If a big video is too much for you, you're at work, you can't watch the video, the podcast will be right up your alley. And what I'll do is the morning after the shows, well, no, I'll take that back. How would I do it? I would do it probably, this show I'll upload it Friday morning, and the Saturday show will upload Monday morning. So you get it early in the week, end of the week. And if you watch it on YouTube, you get the Wednesday and Saturday. So that'd be kind of how it goes. So that's what it is. And thank y'all for joining. I most certainly appreciate y'all. And what we got going on. Shout out to you guys in the chat. You guys are hilarious. But yeah, the coronavirus is still trucking along. The death toll is growing day by day. Let me see what it is right now. I thought it was like 50 or 60. I'm not sure what the death toll is now. I'm seeing numbers that they're saying, okay, so the death toll is 132. Now, that is unofficial because we talking about China. Any intel you get from China is not really going to be 100% accurate. First of all, they're a communist state, so they're going to censor certain things. I'm hearing about them censoring the internet like always, but they're censoring it even more in Wuhan and Guangdong, right there in the epicenter of the virus, whatever they want to call it. So a lot of the intel is not going to be 1,000% accurate. But from what I've been able to see, matter of fact, it's more than that. Now it's 170. I'm seeing something that just broke. This is on The Guardian and also CNBC. But on The Guardian, it says coronavirus live updates, death toll jumps to 170 amid evacuation delays for foreign nationals. Now, speaking about evacuations, they evacuated like 200 Americans, if I'm not mistaken, from that particular area. And they, first of all, they went through thorough screenings before they got on the plane, and then they went on more screenings after they got off the plane, and I think they're going to be held in observation for a little while. And they're currently in Alaska. I think they're in Anchorage. Now, if it's me, I'm not trying to be offensive or anything like that. This is just real talk for me. I would keep them up there indefinitely until we figure out what's happening. I mean, for real, don't come down to the continental United States. Don't come down to the lower 48 because, I mean, that's too much of a risk. You know, I want them to be well and to be okay, but at the same time, I don't want that one stray person to come down here and spread it like wildfire. We already have had at least 2 cases confirmed in the U.S. We don't need any more. I've seen how this movie ends. I've seen 28 Days Later. I've seen World War Z. I've seen The Walking Dead. I've seen all these zombie movies. There's always one person, they coughing, a piece of blood hops on somebody's lip, and then they start coughing, and then before you know it, the whole town is ravaged by zombies. Everybody's biting your face off, and at the same time, they could shoot a gun miraculously. That type of stuff is going on, so I'm good. I don't want to be like Will Smith with my dog, and I'm talking to mannequins and stuff all throughout the film. I don't want that, so let's just be extremely cautious and have them stay up in Alaska, go to the igloos or whatever, hang out there for a minute until we figure out what's going on. Straight up and down. But yeah, it's really bad up there in Wuhan. Now, yeah, exactly. Deep State, Resident Evil 2. Yes, that's how it is. But back to Wuhan. Now, I'm hearing conflicting reports about how the whole virus spread or started. First, they were saying that it's from bat soup, which I still think might be the most probable case. I mean, if you're eating bats and live rats up there in China, which they've been doing for a long time, I mean, they're eating bats, rats, cats, dogs, hogs, you name it, up there. So logically, you're going to get some disease outbreak from that. Okay, that might make the most sense. But they're also saying that there's a facility up there in Wuhan, and this could have been a bioweapon, and either we're doing a trial run right now or it was an accident, it shouldn't have escaped or whatever. I don't know, whatever the case is, there's an outbreak, and I don't want it to spread beyond the epicenter. And I hope that those who were in the epicenter are going to be okay, because you're talking about innocent people. I'm seeing estimates all over the place as far as the total infected. I'm seeing 5,900, 44,000, 60,000. I don't know what to really believe, actually. So I know that it's a lot of people that have been infected, and it's going to be a serious problem. This is reminding me of SARS back in the day. Remember that whole outbreak where people were getting sick left and right? Nobody knew what to do. People were really afraid. It's kind of reminding me of that. And it's the same virus, basically. It's the coronavirus. People are saying that the virus was patented. I think that's for the vaccine for a coronavirus variant, but not this particular virus. I think that might have been bronchitis or something. Like, there's a lot of different coronaviruses. Basically, you're talking about respiratory viruses. That's kind of what this is. There's Middle East respiratory disease or syndrome, whatever they want to call it. I think it's called MERS, MERS for short. Then you had SARS, the same kind of thing. And now we're dealing with this unnamed still virus in China. It's the same type of effect. And I think the ultimate, how can I say, the worst thing that can happen to you from this particular virus is that you get pneumonia, which is going to be antibiotic resistant because it's a different kind of pneumonia. So if you get pneumonia, it'd pretty much be a wrap for you. And pneumonia, it could spread through coughing and stuff, so it's highly contagious. It's right around 5,000. Hey, that's what I'm hearing, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what's really true or what's false. Yep. AG says, at least keep them isolated for 14 days or so during the incubation period. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Talking about those that are still up in Alaska that came from China. Yeah, you got 200 people that came from Wuhan or that general area to the United States that have been evacuated. And it just takes one person. It just takes one person to be patient zero, and then you got 28 days later. And I don't want that to happen at all. Yeah, so it affects kidneys as well. History buff 03. Okay, I didn't know that. Matter of fact, I think I did see that, actually. I did see that. I saw that in the graphic where they were talking about the cats and the bats and the rats and whatnot people are eating. It was like, showing how it transmits from snakes and bats to human beings. So, yeah. Ban bat soup. That's right, Rapper 10,000. If somebody says, hey, want to try this bat soup, you'd be like, no, thank you, sir or ma'am, whoever's trying to offer you the soup. I'll pass on that. I don't want to mess around and pass away from eating soup that I did not want to begin with. But it is what it is. And we'll see. We'll see what happens with this. This could have been a bioweapon. That's not totally outrageous to think that it could be a bioweapon. There's been these things before that have happened. It is what it is. Somebody says, I watched a video that stated back in October there was a virus breakout drill of this exact type of virus. Just like a lot of catastrophes, there seems to always be a drill or practice beforehand. Yeah, that's right. A lot of these mass shootings, there have been drills and stuff. That's kind of a coincidence, I believe, because you've had a lot of mass shootings and a lot of drills to prepare. But when you have a drill, matter of fact, I think there was a drill one time, like on the same day of a mass shooting, if I'm not mistaken. So some of these things, it's like, okay, it could be a coincidence, but sometimes it's like, all right, the coincidence, it's a little bit too much of a coincidence for it to be just happenstance and no kind of outside interference. But it is what it is. And that's right, Jim Wish. China does not care about their own people. That's right. I mean, China, a communist state, they're not really worried about their people, really. If you got a few thousand that die, it is what it is. They don't care because they got 1.3 billion. So they don't really, the way they look at it is, if you got to kill 2,000 to say 5,000, then so what? That's kind of how they operate. If we got to kill a few people to test out a new drug, we can get some money in the global market, then it is what it is. Let's corner the market. I wouldn't be surprised if a nation like China will create a pandemic and then have the cure already in the cut, patented. So then when the outbreak and pandemic started to happen, they would be the ones that had the cure. You got to come to them for it, and they can just beat you in the head for whatever they want to charge you. And they wouldn't charge the individual people for the particular illness, vaccine or cure. They charge particular countries whatever they wanted. They would extort people. I wouldn't be surprised. That's not even outside of the realm possibility for a country like China to do. 1,000%. So when people talk about who is the greatest enemy right now, who's the greatest threat right now, I tend to say China. China can be our friend. I mean, they give us these nice cell phones, which is going to be a problem with the virus coming up because all of your cell phones are made in China. Your iPhone, your Samsung. There's not a phone made in the USA. Not one. They may be designed here, but they're not made here. All phones that you have, any smartphone that you have, is made overseas, and I think probably 99.9% in China. So you want a new iPhone, the iPhone 12 or what have you, good luck with that. Are you going to trust the factory worker that is basically like a slave getting paid next to nothing, who lives at the factory, to not have coronavirus, to go to the doctor and take care of themselves? I mean, it's going to be a problem for shipping and handling and stuff like that in China for an extended period of time. The virus is like getting worse day by day, and who knows when it's going to stop. If there's no cure and if there's no treatment for it, then how are they going to stop it? That's what I want to know. But it is what it is. But thank y'all for being here. I definitely appreciate you. If you like what you're hearing so far, please hit the like button. If you are on the audio streaming platforms, please like it however you can. Just, help me out by rating it up. That'd be fantastic if you did that. Yeah, but see, Hong Kong is also China, which is the reality. Hong Kong wants to be autonomous or maybe even sovereign, but the truth is that they're part of China. That's the reality as of right now. Maybe that'll change, but right now they're part of China. All right. Is Samsung Korea? Now, Samsung is a Korean company, but where are the phones made at? You see what I'm saying? They could be made in Korea, but I'm not really sure if that's true. Matter of fact, I think I have a Samsung device right here. I'm going to see if it says where it's made. Matter of fact, if you guys can see that, it says Samsung right there. This is a tablet. There it is. It says Samsung right there. This is a tablet, though. That's why it's so big. But let me see where it's made. How do I feel about Trump's Israel peace plan? I mean, I don't know. Because there's always some kind of peace plan. There's always some kind of, let's have a two-state solution. It doesn't really mean much unless the other side, Palestine, wants to really be involved. And if they're going to be involved and participate, then I'm with it. If not, then what are you really going to do? Now, let's see. This is actually made in Vietnam. That's pretty interesting. That's a side note country, Asian country, so, Southeast Asia nation. I didn't know those. Oh, that's pretty interesting. So you got a Korean company making their stuff in a semi, like kind of like a Chinese subordinate, which is kind of bad to say, but it is what it is. Samsung phones assembled in South Asia, chips made in Texas. Okay, that makes sense. I see you crying out, and I cannot repeat that, but you're hilarious. That meme was 1,000% hilarious. Shout out to you. Alrighty, but I got super chats right here. Let me go ahead and read them right quick. And again, thank y'all for being here. Most certainly appreciate you. All right, let's get to super chat and let's see. Thank you to Insanity Pepper, who says CDC page says coronavirus can come from camels, cats, and bats. Animals we should not be eating. The exotic foods culture must stop in Asia. Yeah, exactly. You're 100% correct, and thank you for your donation. That's how the plague started back in Europe. Was it like 1300s or whatever? And ironically enough, I think that it was coming from China. There were rats carrying the plague that came from Asia, probably China, into Europe, and then 1/3 of Europe was gone due to the bubonic plague. And you're starting to see that plague come back. The plague is not really gone anywhere. I'm not really sure how it stopped in Europe, but it's not necessarily gone away. Maybe there's like some type of treatment for it. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, the plague is not gone away. Like it kind of crept back up in Arizona. I think somebody had it, or like it might have been some symptoms, and it could come back in California, like Los Angeles, when you have a bunch of trash, human waste, and rats combined. That right there is a playing ground for the plague to spread. When Europe was dealing with very, how can I say, gross practices of getting rid of their waste, like they have a bucket they use the bathroom in and throw it out the window. That's not sanitary at all. You combine that with sometimes trash being right there and rats, and that's how a disease can happen. A disease outbreak can happen. But thank you to Brett Sessoms, who says the most likely place it originated was from the eating of wild bats in China. Both South Korea and Thailand reported the virus before China did. China has been covering this up. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. They've probably been talking about that for a long time. There's been videos that have come out where people are like passed out on the street. Somebody like vomited blood on the train and died. But the videos are old. I think the one about the train came out in 2019, like almost a year ago to the day, like February 2019. People are saying that it's old and it's not linked to this, but how did we know that the virus was not around back then? It's a sharp outbreak of it now. Not really sure what caused that, but that's a different story. But this whole thing could have been around for a while, even before like the end of last year. But we'll move on. Thank you to We'll Call It Buffalo, who says, don't those weird viruses come from the people living, eating, and sleeping with the critters they munch on? Pretty much. That's pretty much how that goes. The main thing is if you're eating a bat. Now I'm talking about like I don't really understand the whole thing. You have a bat, ma'am, sir, whoever's eating it, with the fur and the teeth and the eyes. Like, what are you thinking about? And you're biting into all of that just with your teeth. Like, no kind of protection between that animal and yourself. Not even just taking some of the meat out like a piece of chicken. You're just eating into the bat. That's like me taking a rooster that's still clucking, cock-a-doodle-doo, all this, that, and the third, and just biting into it. It's like, I'm not going to pluck it first, kill it, skin it, and then take the meat and cook it. I'm just going to eat it. It's kind of weird, but I'll move on. Thank you to Harley Rider 1, who says ABL is one of the few subs I watch religiously. Love it. Well, thank you for that. I definitely appreciate you, boss. Shout out to Kim Bone, who says only live show I watch start to finish. Great job. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate you. That was from last time, but hey, I'll read it again. 1000%. And thank you all for joining. What else we got going on? Shout out to Larson Drone. I know I butchered your name and I'm sorry. Who says SpaceX take me away. Thank you for your donation. Thank you to Brett Sessoms again, who says keep up the good work. ABL will do. Thanks for talking about the coronavirus. China needs to ban their citizens from going abroad at the moment. I'm with you. Now, I saw that UK banned all flights into mainland China, period. Not just Wuhan or Hong Kong, but China, period. Beijing, Shanghai, everywhere, maybe even Hong Kong, because Hong Kong is part of China. Like, that's just a reality. Shenzhen is right there on the border, which is a very big city, like 10 million people. Hong Kong is a big city as well, but Shenzhen is actually bigger. So it kind of makes sense to ban all flights coming into and out of China, because you could do all the screening in the world. You could do a lot, but it's hard to contain that virus, which is spreading very rapidly, highly contagious, and has no cure, no treatment or vaccine or anything like that. So, yeah, stay where you at right now and just keep everything. You know what I mean? And really, I would. But see, the issue that I would have is with the shipments going into and out of China. Okay, a lot of electronics and stuff like that. I mean, if you're going on Amazon and shopping, my question is where you getting your items from? And if you're getting them from a particular place, where are they getting them from? That's a question you got to ask yourself, because you may have a U.S. wholesaler or a supplier, not a wholesaler, but a supplier that gets some wholesale from China. So you're thinking you're buying from an American company. You are, but at the same time, you're not, because they are not where the product originates from. So that's going to be kind of a tricky situation going on for the next few months, or however long it takes to kind of end to fix the whole process about what's happening. History Buff 03 says China has an interest in controlling this because of their Road and Belt program to tie the third world to them economically. Yeah, that's a good point. Absolutely. Africa is really big on Belt and Road. Middle East, same way. You also got Brazil. There's a lot of countries on Belt and Road right now. I mean, you got 1.3 billion with the B people. It's hard to feed all of them with China's available resources, like 6% arable land or less. With that many people, it's kind of hard. It's a lot of fake food in China, a lot of fake rice, fake cabbage, fake chicken, fake milk, fake everything. When I say fake, I mean like plastic rice. So, yeah. it's hard to really make the whole thing tick without having other countries assist you. Like they're in Uganda right now, planting stuff in the farms to send back to China. You understand? That's kind of how that goes. Think of just Justin Miller, who says, if you had to bet every penny you'll ever make on a fight between Andrew, Buy Your Vote Yang, and Booty Gig, who would you bet on? Hey, that's a great question. And I probably bet on Booty Gig because he was in the military. So I think he had some kind of hand to hand training, maybe a little bit. I'm not sure what he did in the military. I'm not sure if he was a desk, a desktop warrior or whatnot. But I think he would have more training rather than Andrew Yang. Thank you for your donation. I definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Brett Sessoms, who says 540,000 South Koreans petitioned their president to temporarily ban Chinese tourists from South Korea. Props to these petitioners. Proud of them. Hey, that's a great thing that they did. I mean, first of all, you're talking about Chinese tourists. I mean, elephant in the room is that Chinese tourists are the worst. They're not going to be better right now, and that can be a problem because you got to be better right now. You got to be really hygienic. You got to be really careful. You can't just do stuff willy-nilly. You got to be on point. And if they're not going to be, then let's go ahead and ban them for a while until we get a handle on what's happening. And there's not an deadly disease outbreak in China with that many people. You're talking about like 18, 19, 20 million people in one particular area with a disease outbreak happening. It's not a very good situation. It can get out of control really quickly. Yep. But let's see. Alrighty. And what else we got? I want to cover something. Oh, yeah. Now, speaking about Kobe right quick, may he rest in peace. Very sad situation. The pilot, I'm not sure what was going on with the pilot. I'm seeing different things, and they're talking about why would you travel in those conditions? You were hovering really aggressively. Basically, what happened, if you don't know, Kobe Bryant, future Hall of Famer, probably be in the Hall of Fame this year, NBA basketball player, played 20 years on the Lakers, one of the best ever to do it. He died in a helicopter crash with 8 other people, including his 13-year-old daughter. His daughter's 2 basketball teammates. His daughter was 13 years old. They're probably right around the same age, 12, 13. One of the daughter's parents, including the baseball coach who actually managed Aaron Judge before he went to the Yankees. One of the girls' mom, the pilot, and a coach at Kobe's daughter's school, basketball coach. Now, they're saying the pilot flew the helicopter in heavy fog. People were saying, what happened? How did that happen? Is that and the third? The police helicopters at that time, when Kobe's pilot was flying, were downed because of the fog, and they crashed in Calabasas. Now, if you know about LA, Calabasas, it's up there in the mountains, so you got really steep cliffs, and since the fog is on, it's going to be on the mountain, so it's almost like what they call low ceiling. It's almost like the clouds come down from the sky and cover the surface of the earth, because you have the mountains, it kind of juts up. But at the end of the day, he could not see where the mountain actually stopped, in my opinion. And he just flew into the side. But he shouldn't have flown right there because you couldn't see. You know, you have air traffic control, but they can only do so much. You got to use your eyes and see where you're going. So it's unfortunate. People said that, oh, we shouldn't have been in a helicopter. LA traffic is a beast. People, they're going to use choppers. I think LeBron used it. People use these helicopters to get from point A to point B. I mean, if you're going to try to sit in traffic in LA, you be all day. And for a guy like Kobe, you got to be able to get around and, you know, conduct business and be with your kids. He had 4 kids with his wife, Vanessa. So you really got to be able to move around. In order for you to do that, you're going to need to have an inventive way to do so. After you got to leave LA, which doesn't make any sense. You are a permanent LA resident basically at this point. You've been there 20 years, you built your career there, built your life there, your kids go there, you go to school there, you got friends. Why leave? Or you can get creative, get a helicopter, or do like Elon Musk is trying to attempt and dig up under the surface. I think they have a subway system, but I'm not sure if it's enough. Now, what Elon's talking about is like individual tunnels. It's kind of silly to me, but I digress. The whole point is that LA traffic is a beast from what I hear. Worse than Atlanta, worse than New York. And I've been to Atlanta, I've been to New York, and I've seen some traffic. But LA is on a whole different level from what I hear. No. Shout out to Mike from Queens who says 175,000 showed up at the Trump rally last night. I heard about that. 175,000 showed up. People were outside, camped out, waiting in the cold. It was great. Now, what I want is for Jersey to flip red in November. That might be kind of a tall order. Somebody posted the numbers from 2016, and I think the gap between Trump and Hillary, was it Trump and Hillary in that state was like 500,000 or something, or 300,000. It was a lot. It was a big gap. So 175,000 is a lot. But the question is, how many of them are going to be former Democrats and how many of them voted for Trump in 2016? So I think it would be tighter in Jersey, if nothing else. If it flipped, that'd be monumental, but you never know. And also, one thing about it, if you had that many folks that were brave enough to show up, think about those that are not going to show up, that don't want you to see their face, that don't want to be on TV, that don't want to talk to you, okay? A lot of people are Trump fans in the closet because they can't come out to their friends and family. I understand. People got to, they got to work, they got kids, they got responsibilities, taking care of people. I get it. I understand. My point is that if you had that many people that were willing to come out that wanted to see the president, how many others wanted to come, but for some reason could not come, for some reason could not really show their face? There's probably a lot of them. Shout out to Bacala Buffalo who says, Booty Gig drove officers around the base. Yang might know Kung Fu. I bet on Yang. Okay, so Booty Gig was not, some type of a grizzled combat guy. He does not appear to be so, but I can't judge a book by his cover. He could have been some type of guy that knows Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He could know some pressure points. I don't really know. I can't judge him based on that. So, hey, it is what it is. Pete was officer. Okay. So Pete, pocket protector, what do they call him? What you guys call them? Pogs? Is that it? I don't want to use the wrong term. Michelle A says, Brad Parscale posted demo groups on Twitter. Interesting. Democrats should be worried. Yeah, I saw that. I think it was like over 20% that came to the rally or that wanted a ticket were Democrat. Between 20 and 25%. That's a number that I'm seeing a lot all over the country. 25%. I think that could be enough to flip states in particular parts of the country, especially since the current leading candidate right now, Joe Biden, is going to get demolished. Bernie may have a better chance to in some places, but over the United States, he does not have a better chance. I mean, in 2016, my aunt is like in her 80s, right? My dad asked her, was she gonna vote for in the primary, if she was voting for Hillary or Bernie? And she was like, Hillary. And Dad was like, you ain't voting for Bernie? She was like, no, I ain't voting for Bernie. Nah, that crazy fool. People are like that. Democrats stomp down, lifelong Democrats don't all like Bernie. They think they might be a communist, the older generation especially, I think he's a communist and crazy. These are leftists saying this. So he may have a good chance among certain people in certain places, but not the entirety of the nation like a Joe Biden would on paper. The issue with Joe Biden is that he's a nut who is pretty much at the end of his career. He's at the end of his ability to function properly as a person. Not trying to be rude or anything like that, but I'm just calling it how I see it. If you are about to be 80 years old, you're starting to slip and you're losing your faculties, I mean, the clock is ticking, tick, tick. I mean, come on. You're trying to become the president. Time is going to accelerate very quickly for you in that particular role. It'll accelerate even more if you become the nominee, because right now he's able to kind of get away with not really doing too many public speaking engagements. But once it comes time for you to actually be out there and be on the trail, you got to be running and gunning. And if you can't, you pretty much just going to lose right away. Yep. Bloomberg is not trying to actually win. Bloomberg's not trying to run. Bloomberg's just trying to hurt Trump by running a bunch of ads. He's just trying to bypass campaign finance law. He's not really trying to win. So he's of no threat because he has no intention of actually running. He's just, skirting laws. That's it. Tony Smith, thank you for your donation. Says, according to the NTSB, his helicopter came down in rapid descent. He crashed into the mountains, and that caused the crash. Well, okay. Now, if he came down, like, okay, I see what you're saying. So he came down and on his descent hit the mountain. Now, I wonder why he came down so rapidly. Will I be on iTunes? I think I will be on iTunes. I'm going to upload it to a distributor, not like some kind of record label. I'm not going to do nothing like that. It's like an app, and I'll put it on different platforms. I think Spotify may have it. I think iTunes may have it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you just now came in, this particular show you're watching right now will be available on iTunes and other audio streaming platforms as a podcast. So people that they can't watch the full video, they might be at work or it's heavy bandwidth, you'll be able to hear this podcast on those streaming platforms, audio only. And I think I'll upload them Friday and Monday. Friday for this show, Friday morning, like 8 o'clock in the morning, and then Monday for the Saturday night show. So you're able to get it at the beginning of the week and at the end of the week. And if you want to hear it aside from that, it'll always still be right here on my channel. Everything is free, of course. You can just download it, do whatever you want. It's all good. I want you guys to hear the information. All right. Gravity caused it. But why? Like, okay, I understand that it may just fall because, things can fall from the sky. But, I mean, it's a helicopter. The whole point is that it stays in the sky. So what caused it to not be able to stay in the sky anymore? What caused the propeller to stop moving? That's what I want to know. What caused that particular situation to happen? They ran out of gas? Like, what happened? Now, somebody did say that the plane didn't have gas in. I mean, not the plane, but the chopper didn't have gas in it. But is that true or false? I don't know. Yeah, Dave DeMays, come on, man. People died. Talking about 9 people died, man. Is that funny? You think that's funny talking about 9 people that died, innocent people? I mean, come on. Now, if you're talking about Jeffrey Epstein or somebody like that, that's a different story. But 9 people that's innocent, come on, man. Like, what are we doing? Now, witnesses, is that going to happen with the impeachment trial? They want witnesses. Is that going to actually come to fruition? I don't think the left really want witnesses. Not for real. They may want some witnesses, but not all witnesses, because if they want all witnesses, let's get, like I said before, let's get Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, let's get Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Christopher Steele, John Bolton, everybody. Let's put everybody up there and then see what comes out. This would be like New Jack City, Nino Brown. If I'm going down, I'm taking everybody with me. Let's bring everybody to the stand. If we're not going to do that, then let's not even go down that road. Let's not even breach that topic if we're not going to go all the way through with it. That's all I'm trying to say. 1,000%. All right. Now, let me see. Thank you to Miriam Vidal, who says, Elizabeth Warren blaming the coronavirus on climate change. Did she really? did she for real do that? The coronavirus on climate change? So I guess the plague that killed 1/3 of Europe was because of climate change back then. I mean, no way she said that. If she said that, I mean, if she said something like that, then that is all BS. The whole climate change thing. I mean, I know that now, but that will be further evidence that climate change is BS. And they pretty much subscribe anything to climate change. Okay, coronavirus, climate change. Oh, it's a snowstorm, it's a rainstorm, it's a windstorm, it's whatever. Climate change, fire, climate change, rain, climate change. Everything can be blamed on climate change at a particular point. Okay. Buffalo says one report said witnesses heard it sputtering before it crashed, or it could have been the gas thing. Because if it's gas, it makes sense because somebody said that it had been hovering for a while in one particular area waiting to get clearance. So if you're hovering for a while, you're burning fuel. Okay, you're burning fuel, and you may get to a particular point and not realize the fuel is gone, or it could have been the fuel gauge issue. I'm not really sure what's going on. Alrighty. Yeah, I mean the ice age. Who was talking about the ice age? Ain't no, you know, the ice the ice age happened and then it didn't happen. So that means that the earth had to warm up. So what do we got going on right now? This is just earth doing what it does. I think it's kind of arrogant for us to think we got control over the earth. The earth is going to do whatever it does regardless. The earth is going to erupt volcanoes, it's going to have hurricanes, it's going to have snowstorms and rainstorms, and it's going to get cold, it's going to get hot. The earth is its own individual thing. The sun is its own individual thing. We can't really control that. Okay? That you can't control the way the earth spins. Like, we have much less control over what goes on here than the planets in the solar system, the earth itself, and the sun do. So it's arrogant to think we can control what's going on here, in my humble opinion. Yeah, gaining weight, climate change. Yeah, somebody's 1,000 pounds trapped in their bedroom. That means climate change did it. Everything is climate change. It'll be a city built right on the water. Like, literally in the city, you have the gondolas and whatnot. In Italy, you have gondolas going through the city. They've been on the water for a long time. The water raises up a little bit. Oh, all of a sudden it's climate change. I mean, come on, let's be for real. Like, if you build a city on water, at a certain point, you might get the water be a little bit higher. That's just kind of what it is. Like, if you build your foundation of your house, like let's say this is the water line right here, and your foundation is right here, like, the water can go up just a little bit, and all of a sudden you got water on your feet. That's just kind of how it works. Yeah, the tide can change that. I mean, anything. All right, but let's see what we got going on. I'm reading the chat right quick. Yes, what I heard, Louis, that the chopper hovered over Burbank until they got clearance to continue because of the dense fog and I guess just, other aircraft in that particular area. Yeah, we can't control the earth like we think we can. People talking about carbon emission, please. The trees eat that like it's nothing. That the trees eat that. You're not, causing the weather to change. That's not how that goes. Okay. Carbon emission hurts us, like it hurts our body from being out there inhaling it more than it hurts the earth. So this whole thing about, we gotta, protect the earth. We're trying to protect ourselves. Really, the earth will be fine when we leave. When you see like garbage and stuff laying around, it's there for a while. At a certain point, the earth begins to reclaim it. So the earth is more powerful than we are. It is what it is. All right. Let me see. We need more trees. Hey, trees are always going to be planted. That ain't no thing. You can always trees are pretty easy to plant and to grow. Really simple. But see, what else we got going? I'm reading the chat real quick before we get to the calls. Now I see you, throat puncher. You're not on mute. Yeah, it's all good. Now, if anybody's trying to call in, you gotta just hang on a minute because I've not turned on the calls yet, so y'all just hang tight. But nobody's on mute from what I've been able to see. If I'm able to see you and people can respond to you, you're not on mute. Oh, here we go, Tyrone. The earth is not flat, sir. The earth is not flat, sir. The earth is round. It's not a perfect sphere, but it is spherical. It is not flat. Let's stop the games. Okay. My question to any flat earther is, if the earth is flat, why have we not fallen off? Why can't we fly a plane to the edge and then see what's on the edge? Why can't we do that? Like, I don't understand. That's what I want to know. And then somebody says it's a big ice wall right there. Okay, well, fly to the ice wall and take a picture of it. You got independent spacecraft, not spacecraft, independent aircraft. You can just get in there and fly to the edge and then tell me what you see. Get in the boat and sail to the edge. Tell me what you see. Take a picture, put it on YouTube, live stream it. That's what I want to know. Earth is flat. Come on, man. Like, stop trolling. That's all I gotta say. Stop the trolling. Let me see. Yeah, this whole thing about climate change is crazy. And the funny part is that on YouTube, if you make a video about climate change, they'll put a Wikipedia article like in the graphic right up under your video. So not even just a link in your description box like how I would normally put mine. It'd be a visible graphic with a picture of a map or a storm or something like that with a Wikipedia entry about how climate change is real, is that, and the third. So that's pretty funny if you ask me, to put up a YouTube blurb and talk about how climate change is real, but whatever. At the end of the day, I think people that understand. You know? Flat brainer, exactly. Flat brainer, that's hilarious. Yeah, I'm not selling my cars. That's right. What's my man? I forget what he says. I'm not selling my Mustang. I'm with you on that one. Talking about carbon emission in the ozone layer. That was a big thing back in the day, right? The ozone layer. Like in the 90s when I was a kid, the whole thing was the ozone layer is depleting and acid rain's going to burn your face off. That was the thing back in the 90s, but that's not the thing anymore. I don't hear any more about acid rain. I don't hear any more about the ozone layer. Now it's about climate change in general. First it was global cooling, then it became global warming, then it became acid rain, then it became ozone layer, all these things, pollution in general, recycling. Now it's just a general thing, climate change. And that includes it's a catch-all term to blame for anything and to try and get money for everything. That's how it goes. Alrighty. Yeah, acid rain. That was crazy. Back in the National Geographic days, you had that in your school. You'd be reading that was a Captain Planet days with acid rain. But that's gone now. That's no longer being talked about. So I guess did the acid rain go away? Did we get rid of the acid from the sky? What happened? Yeah, it's always a new thing. It's always some kind of new, phenomenon. A lot of these things people believe in are like religions in themselves. And sometimes they get people that don't have a base in religion to buy into it because they're looking for something to latch on to. So what they latch on to is a climate change or something like that, something to believe in, something to kind of like be a rebel and be for. That's kind of what I see it being. Philip, you're funny. Philip said ban all flight coming from ping pong. Now, I didn't say that. Philip said it, and I'm not going to laugh. All I'm going to say is that he said it, and I'm going to just leave it right there for now. I'll move right along. But did I get everything? Yeah, CNN. Oh, did you guys see Don Lemon's non-apology? This guy went on CNN and had some people on the quote-unquote panel insulting Trump voters, is that, and the third, and then they get a negative backlash. People are saying, hey, why talk about us like that? That's not right. That's not fair. And then he says, okay, well, I didn't really want to laugh. I didn't want to do this, that, and the third. That was not an apology. That's not an apology at all. I think I was saying that earlier. You're talking about the LGBTQIA ABCD community, and you want to laugh at a quote-unquote joke that's made about them, and you're laughing too hard. You schoolgirl giggling, this, that, and the third. And then I come back and say, oh, I'm sorry. I won't laughing at you. Nobody would accept that apology, at least not those on the left. So, but this is a classic leftist move. Do as I say, never as I do. I could smoke crack, shoot heroin, but you don't. That type of thing going on. So, I don't know. It was really weird. Thank y'all for being here, though. I definitely appreciate you guys for joining. If you've not liked the video so far, or if you've not liked the stream, wherever you are watching this, if you're on the audio streaming platforms, please like the video, rate the video, share the video, do all that good stuff for me. Definitely appreciate you if you did that for me. All right. Oh, remember El Nino, El Nino, La Nina, all that stuff. A weather pattern. Oh, it's the end of the world. It's just rain. That's all. Rain happens. Um, you know, rain happens, floods happen. They're not good when it happens, but they do happen. Fire happens. It happens. It's not really a thing that's uncommon. Let me see. Alrighty. I'm gonna get to the calls now. You guys on the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Do not be afraid to call. I'm gonna try to get Skype up and running. Let's see if it want to work for me. That'd be good. Don Lemon said some people said something. Pretty much that's kind of how that goes. That is how that goes. 100%. But let it be let it be the other way around. Like I said, if it was an LGBTQ joke or a black joke, it wouldn't be some people said something. It wouldn't be that. It'd be how dare you? You're a bigot. You're evil. I hate your guts. Is that and the third? That'll be pretty much how it is. Thank you, the real Alex Doe. I appreciate you. I look forward to you guys as well on Wednesday and Saturday to talk to you guys and see what's really cracking. Let's get to the first call. All right, caller 724. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to? All right, hold on one second, caller, because I might not be able to hear you. I got to tighten myself up. Sorry about that. Well, let's get to... Yeah, can you hear me? All righty, what's going on?
Yeah, it's Justin from Florida. The Don Lemon thing, that's pretty funny. I've seen people in your comments making comments about how, oh, he never makes fun of people and whatnot, and that's not him. Well, he makes fun of the president every day. He's a person too, and everybody has everyone's a person in this world, and everyone has feelings. So, it's just not, you can't be laughing at everybody. And just remember that, they made fun of Trump supporters before, meaning Hillary, and then look what happened to them. It backfired right in their face. And that's just, people are not tolerating it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then another thing.
Go ahead.
And then another thing I want to talk about is Job. Quick quote: Job. He's not helping himself out anymore. His stock is plummeting right now. I mean, just when he thought, man, what could go worse? He just keeps firing away.
Yeah, he's not doing very well right now. I mean, and it's been like that for a while. It's been kind of a steady descent into irrelevance, and that's going to continue as the campaign goes along. And I think the worst part about it is that he's going to be the nominee. So the descent will not stop when he becomes a nominee. It'll just get worse. And then once it comes time for debates and whatnot, it's going to be really embarrassing.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I think they're going to try to figure out a way to screw Bernie over again. So,
Oh, yeah.
It's just how the Democrats work.
That's right.
Also, I was listening to C-SPAN for some of the coverage of the Senate trial. I just tune in here and there, just pop by and just see, it's all the same stuff. But during the intermissions, they take calls, and I'm surprised about how many people said that they voted Democrat, and they were very disappointed. There was a lot of them. And I think people are starting to wake up in this world, and which is good, because people cannot be brainwashed by, corporate entities. I think that you're a good aspect to this situation because you're in independent media and you don't tell, brainwashing ideas. You just bring to the facts to the forefront of the news, which is great. And that's why everybody should just go out and support their independent media and whatever it is, just support it. And I think that's all I got for tonight. I'm going to tune in at work here. You're going to keep me busy while I'll knock out my work. So thank you very much. You have a good night.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. The number to call is 434-658-1220. The number is always in the description box, and it's also right here in the ticker at a certain point in time. I thought it was going to be right there, but it's not, but it's all good. It'll come up on the next slide or next slide after that. But let's get to the next call. And we have 801. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's going on, man? This is John.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Well, you want to talk about the helicopter crash. I'm a 20-year commercial airline pilot. I got about 10,000 hours of flight time.
Yes, please, absolutely.
And I go into Burbank, Orange County, Long Beach, LA. I go to those airports all the time. So what question you got?
Now, okay, what happened? Okay, hold on. First of all, if there's dense fog like that, would that be safe to actually fly a helicopter in?
Yeah, so this is the thing that a lot of people are speculating. But if you look at the rules that helicopters operate, I'm a fixed wing commercial airline pilot, but I'm familiar with how the airspace works and everything. A helicopter basically only needs a mile of visibility and to stay clear of clouds when they're within controlled airspace like that, which within Orange County to LA, Burbank, Van Nuys, he's got plenty of visibility. At the time, the visibility was like 4 miles in Orange County. Up in Burbank's like 2.5 miles. He had plenty of visibility. Maybe for like a private pilot, the visibility is not very safe for a fixed wing aircraft. But if you're a pilot for hire, the visibility, the wind and everything, it was not like extreme weather. It was low visibility. There was fog and haze, but it was completely legal to fly in that weather.
Okay. Now, what do you think caused the crash from what we have? Because, I mean, we don't have much as far as information is concerned, but just from what you've been able to observe from, I guess, the news, what do you think caused the crash?
So there's a whole bunch of different things that people are getting, partially right or somewhat right or completely incorrect. When people were talking about the helicopter was holding, over Glendale outside of Burbank, and it was waiting for the fog to clear up. So that's not actually correct. They were holding to get access to the airspace. The Burbank tower told him to hold outside of his airspace. He was trying to get clearance along the 101 highway, and he said, "I have an aircraft that just went missed approach, and you need to hold outside of my airspace so I can clear this traffic." That's why he was holding outside. Now, it's interesting that there was an aircraft that went missed approach in Burbank. Was it because of the visibility? We don't know. He got access to the freeway. He got access to the airspace, asked if he could transition westbound on the 101. They actually told him, hey, because of traffic, we're going to route you on to the north, go up the I-5 and join the 118, which is north of the airport. So that was not what the original plan was. But, he had visibility to do it. The thing that's interesting is that there's nothing that he's requesting. He's not requesting help. He doesn't sound worried. I mean, he sounds pretty normal on the radio, which means it was something that happened suddenly. And, I mean, most likely what happened, you can look at the flight track. The aircraft was trying to join, once he went around Burbank and Van Nuys airport, he was transitioning southwest. And he was trying to find the 101 freeway, which is east and westbound running freeway. And you could see the aircraft actually passes that freeway, stops, climbs, and that's where the crash occurred. And so, I mean, imagine driving down the freeway and all of a sudden you're trying to navigate with your GPS and everything, and all of a sudden you see, oh, here's your exit, and you slam on the brakes and you kind of slide over. I mean, that's kind of what happened. When you look at the flight track, he missed the road and somehow he got disoriented. Most likely, I think what happened was that he went into a canyon on accident. I mean, a helicopter can completely hover, but I think he went into a canyon and inadvertently got into some fog, haze. The ceiling was about 1,000 feet above the ground. So he may have climbed up into the clouds. But if you don't have instrument experience, if you don't have current instrument experience, which means flying by reference to the instruments in the flight deck, not reference to the ground, you could become disoriented and then you can get into an unusual attitude. And I think what's going to come out in the report is that's probably the most likely possibility, is that he just got disoriented, lost a little bit, was startled, got into some low visibility, and just lost control of the aircraft. So I think that's probably what you're going to see happen.
So, okay, now he would want the road because the road is like probably kind of like a cut through the mountain or whatnot. It's like it's a clear space. You're not dealing with any kind of cliffs or anything like that because you have to have cars there. You're not gonna have a big cliff over top of the road, so be able to follow the road to get to your destination. But if you miss the road, maybe inadvertently he's in the canyon. You think it's kind of a road because it's maybe like a hollow in the mountain. But then,
well, if you look, oh, go ahead.
So once he gets into the canyon, he realizes, okay, I'm not on the road. I'm not where I need to be. Then at the same time, you have the fog. It's kind of hard to see, and he's trying to correct course, and then all those factors come together, and he ends up crashing. Is that kind of what's going on?
I think that's what's happened. I mean, this aircraft, these are typically operated in visual conditions under visual flight rules, which is called VFR. And there's just no reason to operate that type of aircraft under an instrument flight plan. It just takes too long. It's too long of a route. And within busy airspace like that, typically air traffic control is going to route you along freeways, at least when you're transitioning to and from their airspace. Plus, it's just a convenient thing to follow. Okay. I mean, you could navigate with it easily. I mean, the freeway, they were going to Camarillo, which is right along that freeway. The 101 goes right to Camarillo. I mean, you could drive on the 101 right to Camarillo Airport. So it's just convenience. Also, air traffic control kind of knows if you're following a road, as a pilot, you can fly on the right side. Other traffic can fly on the left side. It's just easier. It's just a convenience thing.
Right.
So, yeah, I think he was actually, when he transitioned through Van Nuys to the north side, he transitioned to a road called the Las Virgenes Road, which is a north and southbound road. So he was on a road following it south, and he kept going on that road up to, like, there's a water plant and a canyon up there. And you can see on the flight data, the transponder of all these aircraft reports like a GPS position along with a altitude and an airspeed. So you can go to like a website called Flight Track or Flight Aware, and you can see from takeoff to touchdown, all the direction it was flying, airspeed. And you could see he suddenly climbs 2,000 feet, and then it looks like the plane rolls upside down, or sorry, the helicopter, rolls to the left upside down, increases the speed almost to 180 miles an hour, and impacts the ground. So, I mean, yeah, most likely what happened is he lost reference to the ground, became disoriented, and there's a lot of vestibular illusions that can happen in an aircraft. Because, I mean, think of how many things he's navigating. He's talking to air traffic control. He's managing fuel, That's how come commercial airlines have two pilots, because it's such a complex, job to do.
Right. Well, thank you for breaking that down for me. I learned a lot here. Makes a lot of sense. So, rest in peace again to Kobe Bryant, his family, and everyone else that was on board. It's unfortunate, but things like this happen. So I thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yep. Awesome, man. Thanks a lot.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. It's good to get that information straight from a pilot, somebody that understands what's going on, an experienced person. Because when you're looking at the media and whatnot, even a guy like me, I'm not a pilot, so I can give you what I know and what my opinion is. But when you have a pilot that knows what's going on, it's great to get it from a guy like that. But let's get to the next call. The number to call is 434-658-1220. All right, calling you on the line. Calling you on the line, 617. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, it's Ivan, man.
All right, man. What's going on?
Two things. One, Don Lemon is more like an entertainer than a journalist. So that's why I don't really, I listen to him, but I don't really take, you cannot really take them serious. I know he had a back and forth problem with Trump. Trump insulted him and insulted him back.
But the problem with that is that he's on CNN, and CNN purports itself to be a legitimate news network. So shouldn't he be held to a higher standard because of where he's actually working?
Yeah, but Sean Hannity did the same thing during the Obama years. So
what did he do? What did he do?
Well, he insulted him. he called him a liar when there wasn't even a lie. And I don't want to go into detail, but just
So did he insult Obama voters as being uneducated and dumb and
well, he did
rubes
say
and,
that the Obama supporters were living in Ethiopia. They
You said
were
what?
living in that we were drugged like we were in asteroids, like we were socialists in asteroids. That's what he called them. He insulted them.
So he said what now? He said they were socialists on
He said
steroids.
that Obama voters were like the Jimmy Carter supporters, a bunch of socialists in asteroids.
Asteroids?
So
What is
pretty
that?
much- Yeah, well, like pretty much people were doing drugs, were high. But I don't want to cover
Okay.
that. 'Cause-
Go ahead.
So I don't really support neither one of them because the CNN plays a game when Trump put those kids in cages. They were saying how horrible it was, but Obama did the same thing. I don't believe neither one have intention to put kids on cages because that's why you want to put the kids on cages. Just the situation that so many of them that were coming in that they didn't have a plan where to put them. So, but I want to move on. What I want to talk is about Chris Wallace. Do you know who Chris Wallace is?
Yeah, on Fox News.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know his background?
Not really.
Not really. So why are you saying that Chris Wallace is not Trumper?
It's pretty obvious. I mean, I've been watching him on Fox News talk about Trump. So your background is irrelevant when you're talking about a person right now.
Well, but you could. But this is things that are facts. You can't just. I mean, you got to talk about things that are factually. I mean,
So what have I gotten wrong about his recent actions, about what he's been saying recently?
No, he's not even saying anything wrong though. He talk about the great GDP that we have in the lower unemployment. He talk about positive things about Trump. You never heard him. You just focus when he talk things that are unpleasant to Trump, but they are facts. Okay, let me go back real quickly. You talk about Katie Pavlich. I don't know who she is. Maybe one of those entertainers or Trump supporters. Katie. You make a video of Chris Wallace that say he didn't know the facts were and
I mean, Katie Pavlich.
Katie Pavlich. Okay, so this is the thing. What Chris Wallace was saying was that when the Clinton impeachment was going on, the Justice Department was the one that subpoenaed the people that were involved in the investigation, many investigations. Bill Clinton, the Republicans investigated the Clinton administration, pressured the Justice Department to investigate the Clinton administration for things that Clinton did in 1980, waiting till he went to the White House to impeach him, King Star. So all these, it's a witch hunt. They did the same thing to Clinton for things that happened in 1980. 1980. So now you wait until the guys in the White House to go after him. So all these things, the Republicans did the same thing to Bill Clinton. So
what's your actual point? Because Katie
my
Pavlich.
point is that you keep the report those who support Trump, they keep saying it's a witch hunt. Let me explain you another thing that she said. The reason is because when the whistleblower reported that they heard the call that Trump pretty much pressured the Ukrainian president to investigate the Bidens in exchange of the aid, they send information to the Inspector General. The Inspector General sent information to the Attorney General, to Bill Barr. Why the Attorney General did not start an investigation when the report was made at that time?
All right. I'm gonna just butt in right here. Now, Katie Pavlich was saying the whole point here to her argument was that if the Democrats wanted to call a particular witness, if they wanted to do certain things, if they wanted more information, they should have done that before they sent the articles to the Senate. That's what happened in Bill Clinton's case. It's not what happened here. Now they want to say, "Oh, let's get Bolton." You should have done that before, not now after you already sent the articles.
Let me go back. I
mean, but hold on before you go there. Like, isn't that factual? Like, doesn't that make sense?
That's not factual.
So is it not factual that wait, sir?
Okay.
Is it not factual that the Democrats did call who they wanted before they sent the articles in the case of Bill Clinton? Is it not factual?
But
sir, yes or no question, sir. Yes or no question, sir. I'm put you on mute. It's yes or no question. That's all I want to hear. Yes or no.
It's a difference.
I'm not, sir. Yes or no? That's all I want.
Well,
Yes or no is all I want.
No, because
So are you lying?
circumstances were different. I'm not lying. He's lying because the Democrats asked John Bolton to testify, right? They asked him. He say, if you want me to the administration don't want me to testify. If you want me to testify, I will do it because a judge requires me to do so. So what happened was like, okay, we don't wanna. They didn't want to subpoena him because they say he wanted to sue them.
So they didn't. So you're lying.
No, I'm not lying.
So did they subpoena? Like did they get him before they sent the articles? Yes or no?
Yes, they did ask him to testify.
No. Did it happen?
They did ask him to testify.
Did it happen? See, like you're playing games. At the end of the day,
no.
I'm gonna talk now. I'm gonna talk now, sir. At the end of the day, they were not able to get it done. They couldn't get them to do whatever they wanted to do. And they sent the articles anyway. So the articles are sent. That's it. Don't be trying to say now, oh, we want them to testify now. Senators, you guys do it. No, you didn't happen under your particular watch. You didn't give it no time or whatever the case may be. It don't matter. It didn't happen. So now let the senators do what they're going to do and stay out of it. It's very simple.
Well, but that's the Democrats should go by the rule. If the Democrat want to burn this thing out, I will go through the legal procedure. I will get Barr, I will get Mulvaney, I will get all those guys.
And do what?
And start a criminal procedure.
Based on what though?
Well, I mean, they reported a complaint about the president in a quid pro quo, right? Pretty much, you say, well, if you don't start investigating the Bidens, then they won't release the aid. There's documents in the Pentagon. There's documents in the budget department. There's documents with the contractors. There's documents in the Justice Department.
Documents saying what?
Well, documents say that the Pentagon. Remember.
Sir, we got time constraints. What did the document say?
The aid is not about the money. The aid is about equipment that we're going to send to the Ukraine. What do the documents say that implicates Trump? Well, implicate that they were requesting why the aid is being put on hold when the aid was approved in 2018. Why all the way to 2019 and the aid has not been released? The president has 45 days to release the aid.
So what? How? So, sir, listen to me. We're dealing with a time issue. What do the documents say that implicates Trump in any kind of wrongdoing?
What I mean, you didn't hear what Joe Bolton said?
I'm asking you, sir. Sir, listen. Mm-hmm. I'm asking you. Don't tell me to look it up or what somebody else said. We're talking to you right now on this line.
Okay.
What do the documents say that implicate Trump in any kind of wrongdoing?
But so why the aid has not been released?
See, you can't answer the question because there ain't nothing there. You have nothing.
Well, but why? So
you have nothing. You have nothing. They have nothing. That's pretty much what it's going to be.
Releasing the documents.
But you're not. I mean, have you already? You say.
Why they're not releasing?
No, wait a minute. You say you already saw it, right? Have you seen the documents?
I've not seen it, but why?
So if you've not seen them, then what are you talking about then? If you've not seen the documents, then why are you referencing a thing that you've not even seen? Oh, there's documents. What do they say? You can't answer because you ain't seen them. So on that note, sir, we got time constraints. So you're at 10 minutes. Have a great night, man. Definitely appreciate you. After all of that, you ain't even see the documents. I'm done. 214, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL.
What's going on?
Hey, man. What's going on, bro? This is Tariq, man.
All right, Tariq. What's happening?
Oh, man, I got to talk about this impeachment trial, man. Because what you're going to see, man, and is if you listen to the Democrats, man, they're all unified, man. You know, every time if you listen to the media, either it be Fox News or CNN, they ask the Democrats, okay, if you guys get Bolton, can the Trump defense team get Biden or Joe Biden or Hunter Biden? And all the Democrats lockstep. They all say no. But if you look at the Republicans, and let's just say this, man, this trial would be over had it not been for these quote-unquote moderate Republicans such as Susan Collins, Mitt Romney, and Lisa Murkowski. And I think some other moderate Republican, Lamar Jackson, I don't know what his name. Because to be honest with you, man, that is what the Democrats right now that's who they are trying to convince. You know, and Chuck Schumer keeps saying all we need is 4 brave Republicans. And then you got Mitt Romney taking this impeachment seriously. Like, I read his Facebook post. He's like, I'm approaching this for an open mind. This is a solemn duty, and I'm going to take this seriously. I'm like, Mitt Romney, did you not see the circus in the House? How can you take this seriously? Like, did you not see that they try to impeach this man since the beginning of the election? Susan Collins is the exact same way. I'm going to take my oath of office serious, and we're going to see if this impeachment has any validity. And that stupid question she asked, I don't know if you watched the Q&A section, but, you know, the question that Susan Collins asked, has Trump ever talked about Hunter Biden or Joe Biden before he spoke to Ukraine? Just really taking this seriously when everyone, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, the majority ran for, everyone's like, this is a farce. This is the problem, man. Like, it's the same thing with the Kavanaugh situation where had all the Republicans been on lock, there would have been no FBI investigation. They would have just voted Brett Kavanaugh in and did the middle fingers to the Democrats because we know that the Democrats were trying to filibuster as much as they could so Brett Kavanaugh could not get elected. It's the same thing with these stupid witnesses. They want to call witness after witness, extended to put as much pain on the president. And it's frustrating because Mitch McConnell, I know he really wants to hold this vote to just, let's just call it quits, let it go. But you got these these moderate Republicans, man, voicing loudly, like Mitt Romney, how he want to hear from John Bolton. That is the problem, and you see all across the headlines. And the other problem with Mitt Romney and Susan Collins, too, is that they can't bring themselves to say one bad thing about what the Democrats are doing to the president. It's insane. All they say is it's troubling what Trump did with Ukraine. It's troubling. This is worrisome. But it's not troubling what the Democrats, how they just sped the impeachment through. It's not troubling that they didn't call any witnesses and they're just dumping it on you guys. And y'all are just going to be gullible and y'all just going to go along with it. As usual, the Democrats get their way while we got to sit there and go for a long impeachment. They're not even the majority. Like, that is the problem, man. It's these moderate Republicans. They have to go. Like, I swear to God, like, I respect Susan Collins for that Brett Kavanaugh vote, but it was because of her tight lip, acting like she's just undecided throughout the entire process until the last minute. It's why we even had to have this stupid FBI investigation, and she's doing the same crap now. She's got to go, man. We thank her for the Brett Kavanaugh vote, man, but this taking this far seriously, any Republican, like Rand Paul said, they got to be held to account for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think? Like, do you think this would have been quicker had it not been for these moderate Republicans?
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. Because they're really in the way. This whole thing about witnesses and whatnot. Oh, we don't have the votes. It's like, man, look, we don't have no time for this. Wrap it up. The moderate Republicans are really getting in the way.
Exactly. And the Trump defense team is making a good defense. Are you guys going to sit there and allow the House to dump their obligations on y'all and y'all just going to take it? Like, I'm just wondering, like, is Mitt Romney that much of a beta male? Is he, like, he's so bitter? Like, man, like, have you noticed, man, when a Republican goes never Trump, it just feels like their entire career is just wrapped around Donald Trump and how bad he is. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's what permeates their whole mind. Nothing else. Like, it's almost like a sickness. I mean, it's like, what has Trump done to you that got you so angry that you are willing to not even go against the Republican Party? Mitt Romney is even going against his own constituents in Utah. They are very upset about how he's acting in the in the Senate, and they want Mitt Romney to support this president. But Mitt Romney is that Republican that you can rely on. That anytime you need someone to attack Donald Trump, or anytime you need a delay, you can count on this idiot to just. It's like to just step in and do that. And this last thing about John Bolton, man, and this is why, I remember I called this show a lot, and I warned you about John Bolton, because this guy is a snake, he's a liar, he's a backstabber, and I'm not shocked. John Bolton is such a coward. You got this manifesto out. Why don't you hold a press conference? Like, this is not a game. Why is he not speaking to nobody? You know what I'm saying? It's this. It's another one of these bitter, never Trump, because Trump kicked you out because he doesn't want to go to war with every country like you, Bolton. So instead of these people just being a man and moving on, no, they just got to get even. They want to write these stupid books. And I know John Bolton is lying, because it's like, okay, Trump told you out of everybody. Trump told you when you and him had a contentious relationship that he is tying that aid to Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? He's holding the aid up until Ukraine gets their money, and you are the only one. And then the way it's timing of release of it is suspect. And you don't hear John Bolton coming out and correcting a record. He's not saying anything. It's just like, what are you doing? Like, even Hannity on Fox News and Tucker Carlson, who used to like John Bolton, they're like, I don't even know who this guy anymore. You know what I'm saying? So this is a problem, man. This is the deep state on the Republican side. You know what I'm saying? The Democrats are already a lost cause, man. They are already a deep state. Like, I swear to God, every time they present their case or even talk in the Senate, I just mute the volume or turn to another station, because these people, it makes me so mad every time they say Trump talk to the Ukrainian president in order to advance his interests. And there's no text, no verbiage, no nothing of him ever saying, you do this for me or else. There's nothing of him saying, I'm doing this to advance my interests. But they keep saying that because they assume the public is stupid. And then you got these stupid, moderate Republicans, Mitt Romney, Lisa Murkowski, Susan. I'm telling you, man, if we don't vote these clowns out, man, it's going to be another Supreme Court holdup or some nonsense. But, yeah, man, this is a problem with this ridiculous case, man. And I just hope on Friday when they hold this vote, enough Republicans vote to acquit Trump. And if we have just two straddling, just vote them out. And that's pretty much all I want to say, man.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. Take care, boss.
All right, peace. All right, that was Tariq dropping bombs as usual on the show. Excellent call. Hey, I can just sit back, put my hands up, and just let him rock, man. So shout out to Tariq. Great call. Yeah, a lot of great information. John Bolton, you got to get up out of here. A lot of these so-called moderates, just go over to the other side. So many people are weird. You got your Mitt Romneys and your Murkowskis. It's like, go to the other side and just be over there. Same thing with my man, Joe Manchin, West Virginia. Come to our side. Like, what are we doing? Jeff Van Drew, he left. He defected. You can too if you want to, but we'll move on away from that. Let's get to the next call. 712, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Speaking to Al. How we doing, ABL?
Oh, I'm great. How about
Hope
yourself?
you're doing, I am better than I deserve. How's that one? Hey. That's Dave Ramsey little quote there. I'm going to give it back to him. Hey, I want to talk just a little bit about Chris Wallace real fast. I remember when I was younger, I should say, Chris Wallace was on NBC, I think between 75 and 89. I looked it up. ABC, 89 to 03. He went to Harvard, and he's a Democrat. Don't need to say no more about Chris Wallace there. So I just want to throw that out, let everybody know. Even though he's on Fox, he's still a Democrat. He's still kind of liberal. He still got his liberal views because he's on those stations, NBC and ABC.
Right.
So let's go with that. Let's see. I want to say diddle to your last caller and amen to what passionate. He was very passionate on what he said. He believed everything he said. I can agree with him almost 100%. So I noticed you just let him go ahead and or speak his mind, and he was right on point with everything.
Yes.
Oh, let's see here. I'm going to give you some good news for me, is that tomorrow morning I'm going to be going to, I can't make it to Des Moines because Trump's in Des Moines, but Mike Pence is going to be in Sioux City, and I have tickets to go see Mike Pence, and a bunch of us are going to go and see him. So, and relating to that a little bit, maybe I got this little sign made up just for CNN. If they could, hopefully, maybe I doubt CNN would ever want to show this sign, but maybe some other station might pick it up. So, it deals with this Ukraine too. So, I really was kind of offended by that. I don't accept his apology. I don't care how many times he apologizes. He's a clown. So, and then I want to talk about the Prince Charles going and seeing the Flower Child. I guess I'm going to call her the Flower Child. But you know what? How much fuel did he burn just to go see her and back? Has anybody ever really criticized that? You know, he flies around private jets all around. So that totally being a hypocrite as far as I'm concerned. Let's see here. The Senate. Oh yeah, the one guy you were talking, Ivan. It was Ivan. It was the Javelin missiles, and they were never held up. Okay, there's your answer. It was they requested Javelin missiles, and that aid was never held up. It was just some of the financial that was held up for a while. And as far as the president is concerned, he is our foreign policy. If the country has got corruption going on, I don't think I want my tax dollars to go to that country. So let's look at what, if you really look at the back history behind all this, is let's talk about that little ambassador. The ambassador in 2016, if I remember right, basically told their government or their legal, they had corruption councils or whatever going on, that she said that there's certain people that couldn't be investigated, that they were telling the Ukrainian government, basically, you do not look into these people. And the same thing, we've seen it on TV, basically with Biden being over there. Well, if you don't fire this prosecutor, which he was actually looking in Burmese. Burisma, yeah. And that's because his son was on, and I guess if I was a father, maybe I'd be doing the same thing, you know, but he's saying, hey, if you don't get this prosecutor fired, that basically I'm taking this $2 billion or whatever the amount was, and I'm leaving. And SOB, they fired him. His own quote. My quote, not my words, his words. So, you want to talk about things that are illegal? That, to me, is illegal. You're forcing of the way you want a government to act, and you know that was personal. I think that, to me, is if you gotta have blinders on if you can't see that.
Right.
To me, I mean, would you agree on that, or would you? I mean, I just don't know what to say about that. But that's as far as I'm concerned. I don't think we should give any money to anybody. So how's that? So even though if it was allocated by our Senate and stuff, so Senate and Congress. So, and I want to talk a little bit about the impeachment. I do. You know what? They're trying to make a big circus out of the Senate too right now. The way the Constitution is, the way I understand the Constitution is, when it comes to impeachment, the trial is held in the House of Representatives. Now, just because they didn't get all the witnesses they wanted to, and they could have gone to court, which would have took it to go to court, to get those witnesses, or depending upon what the court was, that's where the trial takes place. After the trial takes place, Then it goes in front of the Senate to where the Senate judges. The Senate is not the trial place. The trial place is not the Senate. Mitt, okay? I mean, I wish you'd listen to your show and understand what the American people are saying about this. Mitt, you're just a judge. You're not a lawyer in this.
Right.
All those Republicans and even the Democrat senators, you guys are just judges. You are not supposed to have a trial there. You are supposed to decide on this evidence that you've got in front of you, which is a clown circus in the first place, that you make a decision. Either you impeach him or you plead he's not guilty, and that's the end of it. The House screwed up, send it back to the House. That's where it's supposed to be at, not in the Senate. The Senate's supposed to be a saucer of a cup of a hot cup of coffee. You have a saucer. The Senate is supposed to be a cooling point, where you've got the hot coffee is actually considered the House of Representatives, and that saucer is supposed to be the Senate, cool things down. So, as far as I'm concerned, this thing needs to be scrapped. No witnesses at all. No, you do investigations later. Does the Senate want to investigate all this crap that's going on in
well,
Ukraine?
Actually, the Senate does. The Senate is a trial phase, but I don't think Mitt Romney should be really trying to interfere. I think Mitt Romney is just trying to, just kind of have a little mini rebellion against the president. That's why he's doing these kind of really weird things. But I don't mean to cut you right here, but I got to get to a few more calls. So thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
You bet. Okay, you take it easy and have a good evening, Anthony.
All right, thank you for the call. Appreciate you. All right, shout out to the caller. Yeah, I kind of didn't really catch that when you said it's in it, But yeah, that's where the House, they say, okay, let's send the articles to the Senate and let them take it from there, because they got to convict or acquit. That's a trial. And they're going to eventually acquit. But right now, it's just a bunch of smoke and mirrors and time wasting and stalling. Really what it does is just ensure that you're going to have a Joe Biden, because if you can't have Bernie Sanders or Pocahontas out there campaigning because the impeachment trial is going on, then, it just makes it easier for Joe to take advantage of the situation and try to become the front runner. You got the primaries happening any day now. I mean, February's right around the corner. Before you know it, it'll be March, and then everybody's going to be voting. So time's a wasting. And if you're going to waste time on the impeachment trial in the Senate, then that's on you, Democrats. It'll just kind of make your case worse and just prolong a thing and make taxpayers spend money unnecessarily. But let me get to the next call here. 832, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, Anthony Brian Logan. This is your boy, Anthony. Seldom caller, formerly from the state of Texas, now in the state of California. How are you tonight, sir?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain. About yourself?
Good as well. Just another day in Southern California. And just a lot of things are crazy about the whole Kobe Bryant thing. People were coming up with conspiracies, and also some far right-wingers. They were talking about, why should we glorify the death of a pedophile, a rapist, and all that stuff? It's just people are just bitter. I know Kobe doesn't have a spotless past, but like the people say, we should respect the dead.
Once you get to be on the far right, in my opinion, you just kind of go full circle and go back to the left. That's kind of what that is, like the Nick Fuentes type people. At the end of the day, you just become on the left. And the thing about Kobe is okay, you had an accusation about sexual assault. That doesn't mean that he did it. People get accused of things all the time. We see what's going on right now with the whole Me Too movement. And it's so bad in LA right now to where I've heard about not even big time actors, just kind of maybe C-list actors, people that might be moderately famous. They could probably go to the airport and not have anybody know who they are. They're talking about they record everything. They got non-disclosure forms because they want to be 100% sure this is not going to be a setup. Let's say they meet a young lady at the club or whatever, they start their date, and then they go back to their house.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
And they go back to their house. they say, okay, sign this consent form just to make sure everything's on the up and up, and I'm going to tape it. And then they let everybody, they let them know what's going on. So there's no problems, there's no funny business, because a guy like Kobe, you know, you're multi-millionaire athlete, you're a big target for somebody to regret, you know, sleeping with you and be like, oh, no, you did X, Y, and Z to me. Now give me some money. Not saying that's what happened, but that does happen in Hollywood, and also just in the athletic industry in general.
I think so. Anywhere where there is power and fortune, I think it's more likely people are, especially women, they're prone to sue for rape and all that stuff. That's where, and then a couple of years, oh no, I won't be. Sorry. That's where the Me Too movement and all that stuff became popular, because, hey, you know, we finally have a platform to speak out against famous men. You know, they did this to us, and now we can sue so they can, you know, not be shamed on the media. It's crazy. This whole Me Too thing. I know some people say, oh, it started out with good intentions. It's just like the old saying, I don't know how they go, but it says the road to hell was paved with good intentions, you know?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Because all of it is just allegations. There's no proof. They didn't do no rape tests. There's no police reports. So the whole thing is just don't even exist. It's just hearsay.
That's right.
And then we were talking about the right and the left. You know, I think that's why I was often mentioned on my social media, say there's a right wing, left wing. They're both. I know it goes on in social media, say they're both the same bird. They're both disgusting. You know, I just tend to be more independent thinker and see things as the way it is, instead of just, you know, following party lines.
Well, there are some key differences. I mean, you're talking about, you know, abortion being the main one. You're talking about millions of babies. One side says, yeah, let's go ahead and kill them. One side says, no, let's don't. You know, there are some really big differences. Once you get down to the deep state and to some of the power things, then it becomes more about other stuff and about agendas. When you're talking about politics in general, there are some really big differences that you have on either side.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And also, like, ethno-state things. I hear things on the far right, like when they have Trump's immigration, something twisted so much to promote ethno-state. Like, oh, let's clean out the people that are not white. It's crazy. I mean, of course, that's internet people.
Yeah, the internet is
the
internet is not really the internet. It can be deceiving, because people that they are on the internet saying certain things, it's not always like that once they get to be in person. You know, I've seen some of these shows on the internet where they bring people that they meet, like on the phone or through direct message, and they seem like everything is cool and everything's all mellow. But then when they get there, they turn to a whole different person. Like that kind of goes on a lot. Catfish and stuff like that. It's a whole show called Catfish about that.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, and I haven't told you where I'm living in California. I'm in San Diego. It's nice, you know. It's not as bad as LA. LA, I went there, and it's a mess.
Yeah, LA, that's a whole different story. But San Diego is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. It is good.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, I don't have that much to discuss on the topic of the show, but I just want to say thank you for taking my call, and have a good night.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. Yeah, somebody says the U.S. being, the real Alex Doe says the U.S. being an ethno state is a red herring. Yeah, that's not going to, people say, oh, so let's bring back the ethno state. How you going to do that? Ain't no, this, ain't going to be no ethno state. You know, if you want to have an ethno state for Europeans, go to Iceland or something like that. But then you got to deal with the natives that probably live up there still. So that's not really going to work. So I don't know where you're really going to go. You got to like create some type of, like Peter Griffin created his own little island on his house. He created a nation, Pretoria or something like that. You got to do something like that to get to the ethno state, but I'll move on. Let's get to the next call. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me get to the next call. 510, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, who am I speaking to?
This is Bravo Throat Puncher of the Angry Marine Space Marine chapter representing. I'm here to inaugurate God Emperor Trump. Well, he's already inaugurated. But yes. Sorry, I had to get into character.
I see.
Oh,
What's going
man.
on with you, man?
Yeah. So I've just been looking at everything that's been going on with China, with the whole, what is it? I forgot the name of it, but that whole virus that's coming out. It's a completely different strain. And we don't have any idea what's going on with it. We haven't figured out a cure or anything. And I've been talking to somebody who is in Shanghai right now. And she's been telling me it's been getting really bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I think that this is a serious situation. They're talking about trying to fly people out. It's like, all right, I understand you want to be able to get away from harm. But if you were in Wuhan for a while, I need you to stay in quarantine for a little bit longer. You can do like a little screening. Oh, he doesn't have a fever. Okay, that's fine. But the disease is pretty much brand new. We don't really know what's going on, how it spreads. All it takes is one person to be that patient zero to come into a place, and now you got 28 days later. And I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to get munched on by a bunch of zombies. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't know. I hear you, man. Right now, I'm actually concerned because I'm literally in a liberal cesspool of Oakland, California.
Oh,
Chinatown, you got people. Oh, yeah, it is ground zero here. And I'm going to be honest, like, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, what the heck? This is all crazy. And then I'm also hearing things about Mitt Romney, like saying, oh, I'm a never Trumper. Well, I'm going to tell you this, Mitt Romney. You're just salty that you lost against Obama. You're just mad. I'm like, and here's the thing I'm going to say. You lost fair and square because you didn't exactly know how to connect with the people. Trump actually does know how to connect with the people. It was actually an interview I've seen. It was a while back, but it was a Joe Rogan podcast. He was talking to Donald Trump Jr., and it was rather enlightening what he had to say. So Donald Trump actually literally went down to the construction workers, worked with them, spoke with them. So he was able to get a jargon or speak our common language, which, let's be honest, most people with high enough money see themselves as something very different from the common person. But here you have Trump right here. Before he became president, he's just out in the trenches. And he's even told his kids, no, you got to learn how to speak like that. And Donald Trump Jr. was saying, yeah, our dad also had us learn how to use construction equipment. What billionaire does that? There aren't too many that do that.
Right.
Most of the kids tend to be real spoiled. But no, he's just like, no, you got to learn this, connect with your fellow man. This is why Trump won, along with working with the common American. And I'm like thinking, America may be a business he sees, but he wants it to be a business that succeeds. Because if he didn't treat it like that, do you think we would be doing as good as we are right now? I'm just saying.
I'm with you.
And come 2020, I'm going to do everything I can just to vote him in. He has my vote. And just to celebrate, I'm going to play, I don't know if you still have your gaming service on or your gaming channel on. I'm going to play this game called American Retribution, where you play as Donald Trump fighting against Antifa, North Korea, all these crazy celebrities. You even fight Rosie O'Donnell. And then the second game, you fight David Hogg and Maxine Waters. It's hilarious. And David Hogg's like, I don't know what he's saying, but look it up in the Steam. Look it up.
Wait. Hold on. Let's pause for a minute. Like, you talking about a real game?
Yes, it's a real video game. Check it out on Steam. It is awesome.
And what is it called again?
America's Retribution. There's America's Retribution 1 and America's Retribution 2. And if you're into side scrollers and like the whole Nintendo thing, like if you're into that classic stuff, it's fun. The controls are a little stiff, I have to admit, for the first one. I didn't get a chance to play the second one. But just the fact I'm going around taking on Antifa, they're trying to come at me, and I'm like, I'm Donald Trump. I'm going to fight for the American people. and you see Donald Trump running around with a Uzi, taking down terrorists and all these other anti-American people. It's so satisfying.
That's hilarious.
It is. And there are memes. You can even grab Twitter phones, and Donald Trump will tweet something for bombs to take out these people, walls to come about, and also crush these people. You have like all sorts of means of getting health power-ups. Like you have just regular food that will get you health power-ups, but certain things are bad for you, like booze and Pepsi. But the thing that's the counter to Pepsi for Donald Trump would be Diet Coke, thanks to the Coke commercial. And then, of course, when you find babies, it's like you get a bonus score that says pro-life, and it gives you about 50% of your health back. It's great.
That's funny.
Yes. Anyway, thanks for taking my call.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
No problem. Bye.
Wow. Now, that was funny. I had no idea that game existed. So, yeah. Now, and they have DLC. It says American Retribution Super Pack Bundle. You're able to get that's not DLC, pardon me. It's just both games. They call it a Super Pack Bundle. That is hilarious. Alrighty. Shout out to you guys for being in here. Please like the video if you like what you're hearing so far. If you enjoyed the content, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And that'll definitely help me out a whole lot. And let me get to the next call. The number to call is 434-658-1220. If you wouldn't get in through Skype, it'd be right here in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. There's the email for that in the description box below. Alrighty, let's get to it. Let's go 302. You on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello.
Yes, who am I speaking to?
Sean.
Alrighty, Sean, what's going on?
Talking about.
All right, I don't know what happened to Sean. He hung up. You know, don't get cold feet, boss. It's all good. But let me get to the next call. 239, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, who am I speaking to?
Oh, my name is Loso from Miami.
All righty, man. What's going on?
What's up, man? Yeah, I've been trying to get to you for a while. I'm not sure what y'all were conversating about because I was busy earlier, but what I wanted to bring up, man, you see the craziness with the CNN lady?
Nah, what was that? What happened with that?
I mean, not the CNN, oh my bad, MSNBC.
Oh, you talking about the Knicks, Lakers, Nick Ers, all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Before I go there, man, I just want to congratulate the president for what he's doing, like with getting rid of the NAFTA deal and working on the peace. He's doing a lot of great stuff, even though they're trying to impeach him. But this is what I want to get at, man, with that how everybody is sitting here trying to protect and make it seem like she didn't say what she said. Like I got family members that liberals, they liberals and stuff. One of them, she telling me that the girl didn't say that. And all of it, I be connecting dots. Like I don't know if Al Sharpton said nothing about it yet, but ain't he usually the ones on the streets with his perm head talking about no justice, no peace when white people say that word.
Well, absolutely, and he works at MSNBC, so he should be the first one to come out and say something.
Damn. So that's what I was saying to myself. I had posted something online. I'm like, isn't he always the one trying to boycott a company? But then, I forgot. He worked for them. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then when it all draw back, it take me, because I'm glad a lot of this stuff getting exposed, because even before they came out with him being a government informant, I used to tell my people, I'm like, man, the man is an informant, because I read some stuff from a long time ago about how the Black Panthers say he was trying to set him up and say what Assad secured them back. So I'm like, once they kind of find out, he had to admit that he was an informant. But I'm thinking about how all these so-called black leaders be compromised. Now, all this go back to, remember what the Don Iman situation, when he said the nappy head hoes or whatever with the Rutgers girl.
Yeah.
So that he worked for NBC, who owned MSNBC. So when they did their little backdoor deal, that was part of the deal. He get him a job, but he got to make sure he keep the black people in line who follow him. Because all that, like, you sit there, the anonymous apologize to you, they give money to your little group. Now you work with NBC. Man, the hypocrisy, though, man. It's just crazy, though, man. How you sit here, now white people saying that word, he don't care now. Come on, man.
Now, I'm going to say that I don't think she said it. I think she was trying to say Knicks and then said Lakers at the same time and then made a mistake.
I don't know what she was trying to say.
Yeah,
I mean, she said that though.
It sounded bad though, but see, a guy like Al Sharpton wouldn't even care about what she was trying to say. It wouldn't matter.
To me,
he would jump on it immediately, but since he works for MSNBC, he can't do that. He got to be like, "Oh, I didn't hear nothing."
And to me personally, man, I'm black. I'm from the hood. Man, it don't bother me. I don't think she should lose her job or none of that. I don't really care. It's just the hypocrisy, man. If Donald Trump said, man, even if Donald Trump said Nakers, they'd have wanted him to, they'd impeach them about that.
Right.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's the hypocrisy of all this identity politics and weaponizing racism and stuff. And it always go back to, like, a lot of times I always like to post stuff about how Malcolm X talked about the Democrats and the liberals. How, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's good to see the hypocrisy, because if that was Fox News, man, you know, Permhead would have been on front line with all type of people screaming, "No justice, no peace." You already know it. But that is MSNBC. I ain't hear. If he said something, I just ain't hear. And if he do say something, he gonna be out there trying to take up for her. But I don't think she should lose her job. But the same, you know what I'm saying? If anybody else make a mistake, let's not always turn into a big old racial thing, man. It's the hypocrisy. That's all. No, I'm saying that was my big problem with that situation there, though.
I'm with you, absolutely.
Yeah, but it ain't too much. Though. I'm glad to hear from you. I mean, to make it back through the line. See the lines be busy though, man.
Oh, definitely, man. The lines are jammed up, man. But I'm glad you're able to get through, and thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
And one more thing for a hang up, man. It feels good because, man, to see the black people, and I never try to attack it as a racial thing. But the only reason I bring up the race part of it, because I hate how they say my president racist. I hate the way they weaponize racism. So, but I like what he's doing for the country, because when he do good for the country, he's doing good for blacks and everybody. But specifically, this man doing so much for like black, not just black people, but black people though. He did the most for since Abraham Lincoln. I don't know no person that did as much for black people. And then he still find time to push little stuff in for Indians. I'm talking about no matter what. You a farmer, don't matter what. If you're American, this man riding with you, man. And I'm just glad to see a lot of black people, like, waking up, though, because that's the only thing they got right now is identity politics. So the reason I do bring up, like, I like to bring up a lot of stuff that he's doing for the blacks, which I want him to do stuff for everybody. But I hate when people call him a racist, though, man. I don't like that, because they take away from the conversation. It turns to feelings instead of facts, and this is like emotions instead of policies, and I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's all I wanted to say, though, man.
All right, thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right.
All right, shout out to the caller. I most certainly appreciate him. But yeah, that whole thing with the lady in the right when I heard her say that, I'm thinking she tried to combine Knicks, which is an actual team, New York Knicks, and play in New York City, Manhattan, and the LA Lakers. They play downtown Los Angeles. She realized midway, I got to say Lakers. One thing I've noticed about the whole thing with Kobe, a lot of people don't know sports at all. Not all people watch sports. Not everybody know anything about sports. They don't know. And the most egregious one was BBC when they were talking about Kobe passing away and his daughter. They showed a picture of him and his daughter, and then they proceeded to show clips of LeBron James playing. It's like, you can't tell the difference between Kobe and LeBron. Like, you just think, okay, basketball player, LA, black dude, that's enough. And then the crazy part is that they got a name on the back of their jersey. It says James. You can't read. Like, does the word James look like Bryant? No, it doesn't. They're not even really paying attention. They don't. But see, people don't know sports like that. So for a person to say Knicks by accident and then change it and try to say Lakers, it makes sense. It's the same thing that happened when somebody said Martin Luther King coon. You know, people said, "Are you calling him a coon?" The lady, I think she got fired or something like that. It was a mistake. It was slip of the tongue. Matter of fact, I think shout out to Amazing Lucas. He actually did something good here. He put out a video where he slowed the word down, and you can hear what she said. Let's go ahead and check it out right quick, and then you'll be able to be on the same page with me, maybe.
Angela's Lakers on the Los Angeles Lakers on the Los Angeles Lakers.
Los Angeles Lakers. I don't hear IGGER sound. I hear AKER sound. And to me, in real time, it sounded like she said Knickers, as in New York Knicks and LA Lakers combined. Do you think she's going to get on TV and try to be slick and say the N-word? You're talking about losing your job. You know, your safety's going to be at risk. Trying to be slick and all this. Come on TV? When Kobe died? Come on. Like, it don't make no sense. So when I saw that, I was like, nah, come on. Let's just get it together. 404, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello. Hey, Anthony. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good, Anthony. I ain't spoke to you in a while. You don't be wanting to answer that phone, Anthony.
Hey, I answer the phones that call in. If you can't get on, then it's not my fault.
Anthony, you gonna pick up that phone when I call. I told you you have to have a special line just for us, Anthony.
No thanks, sir.
Excuse me. Don't mess up. You're gonna have the whole LGBTQ, ABCD, EFGAROU at all the times of our community after you, Anthony. We is not joking. We is not playing, Anthony. I want you to get your butt out of there, Anthony.
All righty, but what's going on? How's everything?
Everything been good, Anthony, other than my man Kobe Bryant dying, Anthony. I just don't know what to say, Anthony.
Yeah, it's a really sad situation. You know, my prayers out to his family and prayers out to, you know, everybody that's affected in the NBA. Now, people really looked up to him. They knew who he was. They knew him personally, so it's really sad.
Yeah, he was a good person, Anthony. But I ain't called to talk about Kobe because I just don't want that on my heart right now, Anthony.
All righty.
But I did want to ask you about this other little crazy lady y'all got running over there on that Democrat. What's wrong with her, that Warren lady? Why she just lie so much, Anthony? She just lie about everything, Anthony.
You talking about Pocahontas?
Well, I guess that's her name. What's her name? Warren, Anthony?
Yeah, Liawatha, Pocahontas, all that good stuff. I think she might got a problem. She might be a pathological liar because she lying about dumb stuff that don't make no sense. You know, when somebody lies like that, you know they got an issue. And then she got upset, confronted Bernie talking about, did you call me a liar on TV, all this, that, and the third. See, that right there, that getting triggered and really upset, that's a mark of a pathological liar because you called them out on their sickness, on their illness.
That's what I was talking about, Anthony. I was looking at the debate, and then she just went over like she was just going to whoop Bernie or something. I don't know. She just, it's something wrong with her, Anthony.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
And your other little friend, Trump, they finna get him up out of there, Anthony. They impeached him.
Nah, they ain't going to do nothing. I mean, you know, you're talking about impeachment, but it won't go anywhere.
He impeached forever, Anthony.
Hey, you know what's funny? He gonna end up not getting removed from office and then win re-election. So everybody that tried to get him out is gonna be sad and crying and everything else. You're gonna see 2016 all over again. People on the street crying and cussing and fussing when they get re-elected.
I don't believe that's gonna happen, Anthony. At least not here in Atlanta. I don't care what happens. When the election night happen, Anthony, I can tell you one thing. Whatever y'all gonna be talking about on the news is not the polls we'll be worried about here in Atlanta, Anthony.
Hey, that's fine. It don't make a difference because he will still be your president in 2020 for 4 more years. So just enjoy it.
Whatever, Anthony. But anywho. And what's this other thing y'all got going on, Anthony, over there in China, Anthony?
When you say y'all, I'm not in China.
Don't get smart with me, boy. I will come up there to Tennessee and I will rub your bald head, boy.
Wait. Let's slow down on that one. You ain't gonna be doing all that now. So just pump your brakes and drive slow. All right.
Whatever, Anthony. But anywho, about this coronavirus over here, Anthony. What is that, Anthony?
Somebody been eating cats and rats and bats and hogs and dogs and everything else. So you got a whole lot of stuff going on that shouldn't be going on. Now you got a disease outbreak. I just hope they keep it right there in China and don't come over here and create 28 days later. I ain't trying to be outside on my dog and my rifle talking to mannequins for the next 3 years. You understand what I'm saying? So hopefully they stay over there and they get it under control because I don't got time.
Well, what happened, Anthony? How they catch you? But they had a bad batch of corona over there, Anthony?
I don't know what's going on, but something.
See, I've been drinking Heineken, and I don't want to catch no virus from drinking no Heinekens, Anthony.
Yeah, I feel you. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, but hopefully they get it. They tighten it up.
Well, Anthony, I hope they do it. But Anthony, I'm finna go because it's Wednesday and we got to get on down here to the bar so we can keep making Anthony. Well, messing it up because y'all got that new slogan. We gonna keep Atlanta gay, Anthony.
All right, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Hey, Anthony, you ain't. I heard you giving a shout out to Amazing. Have you talked to him yet, Anthony?
No, I haven't.
You know I want me some of that Amazing Lucas.
All right. Let's family show. Let's keep it above board. We don't got time for all the silly stuff now. Come on.
You know I love my other little chocolate man. But I'm finna go, Anthony. I got to go. I got to get up out of here, Anthony. Bye, Anthony.
All right. Shout out to that caller. Hey, that's y'all's favorite caller. I don't know. Hey, we got to keep moving and get to some more calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Somebody said the woman is unsufferable. Hey, you gotta. Hey, you can't assume their gender. I don't know what gender you talking about. Male, female, a different species. I don't know what's going on with that person, but they gotta tighten up and get their gender assignment together. You know, it is what it is. I don't know who that call is. Like, if somebody that calls in is always trolling, but I don't know who it is. Like, I think I know the person, but at the same time, I don't. I thought it was Lucas, but I don't think it's Lucas. It could be somebody else that I know, but I don't know who. Alrighty. But I don't know who that was. It could have been anybody. Yeah, China's going to lock down a lot more than 50 million, in my humble opinion, because what's going to happen is that immediate area will be locked down, but then they'll also have flights in and out of China. Like UK says, no more flights to China, period. Mainland China, no Beijing, Shanghai, nothing. And that's going to be an issue. And you're not going to be able to move products and stuff like that, you know? Let me see. Somebody says, how many times has Trump lies in your face? If you have the X, Y, and Z, you will be honest and answer this to me. Are you an English speaker, sir? Is English your first language? Because that sentence was all kind of way messed up. But anyway, what is he lied about? I don't know of a lie that Trump has told. If he has told a lie, then let me know. I like to know what lie he's told, then we could talk about it. But as far as I know, I don't know of a lie that he's told. Now, am I saying that he does not lie? No. I mean, but I don't know of a lie that he's told. So if you can give me some evidence that I can utilize, maybe we can go forward. But as of right now, I don't have anything. And a number to call back to that is 434-658-1220. Do not be afraid to call. Shout out to everybody that has super chatted so far. I appreciate you guys and girls. Shout out to Crush Groovin, who says, Antonine, talking about the caller. Thank you for that. Shout out to Crush Groovin again, who says, sorry I haven't been around much, but I'm a supporter. Patreon and will always be ABL. Hey, I thank you for that. I definitely appreciate you for your support all the time and your donation. Shout out to D Strand for your donation. Definitely appreciate you, boss. Shout out to Bucarlet Buffalo, who says, you see the dress Joy Filler had on at the Grammys? Yeah, it was a great dress. Matter of fact, if I could find it right quick, I think I'll pull it on up. And it said, I think it said Trump 2020. And then it said impeached and reelected. Matter of fact, hold on. It's kind of hard to find a picture. Here we go. Let's use this because this will work pretty well. Because you got to see both sides of the dress. All right, let's pull it up. Let me zoom in. So you guys see it right here. Hold on. Let's just put it in focus in the frame. You see it. So right here, Trump 2020. This is not a very high-res picture, but you get the drift. Trump 2020, and then it says impeached and then re-elected right there. All right. So shout out to Joy Villa. Yep. And I think that was like a jacket she had on over top. So had on the jacket, you know, the red, white, and blue patriotic, and then boom, underneath the dress. This is at the Grammys. Now, I don't know how she still keeps getting into the Grammys because, you know, you would think they would try to ban conservative people. Now, I saw Ricky Rebel, unfortunately, and I will not put that on here right now because he had the Prince type thing going on, you know, with the butt out. I'm not really a fan of that. I don't know what it said on it. He has some words on his butt, but I don't know what it said. I'm not going to go research and read the dude's butt, his bare butt. So I don't know what it said, but we'll just move on. Joy Villa had on a great dress. We'll leave that right there for now. All righty, but what else we got going on? Did I read everything? Shout out to Will Redding who says Brexit and acquittal both on Friday. Place your bets. Hey, it could happen. That'd be great. That should be a worldwide holiday, or at least one in the U.S. and the U.K. You know, we could just share one together. That'd be great. But thank you for your donation, man. I definitely appreciate you. Alrighty. Let me see. Now I want to see what the PP says. Dude, I wish I could speak to you on the air because you are freaking blind. I will trust you in a second. Call in. I don't have any callers right now, so call in. The number to call is 434-658-1220. You could call in. You can call me on a block number. I don't care. I don't want your number. Just call in and you could talk. If not, just stay in the chat. That's it. I mean, like this is literally a call-in show. So the floor is open. The floor is yours. Go ahead and do what you got to do. It's no problem at all. Yeah, I like having people that call in and disagree. I really enjoy that. 1,000%. Oh, is that what it said? Zizarat, impeach my hind parts. Hey, you can't put numbers out there. What are you doing, Josine? That's not my number, but what number is that? Shout out to Deep Steady State who says hashtag where's Hunter? That's what I want to know. Where is he at? Is he out there trying to pay child support or what's going on? I don't know. He got plenty of money, so why he not paying child support? I'm not really sure what the reason is behind it. You know, he was making millions with Ukraine and China, so you sure got enough to be able to take care of that stripper baby. You know, it shouldn't really be a big issue. Go ahead and pay some child support and call that a wrap. Do I believe in the Trump time travel thing? I've not heard about that at all, so I don't know anything about it. I guess the whole thing would be he came back from the future to save us. I don't know anything about it, so I don't have a you called in but it gets ended. Okay, it might be my Skype messing up because you know how Skype does. Let's reboot Skype because that might be the issue. I'm not getting calls. Okay, let's go ahead and get back on it. Shout out to Skype for rejecting calls and telling me I'm not getting anything, but I'm getting flooded. All right, it's back on now, so it should be working. Or it could just be. There we go. There we go. 206 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
All right. This is Dougie.
All righty, Dougie. What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Good to talk to you. I figured I'd run through real quick. First off, Joy Villa made impeachment look good, man. You know. But yeah, I just wanted to call in, give my opinion about a few things. You know, the Kobe thing. You know, I heard he didn't want to party with the rest of the team back when I was down there, and gained some respect for the man. You know, he's trying to be a good parent. You know, especially compared to other basketball players. That's a tough life they always on the road. So I'm not going to speculate, but I wouldn't recommend anybody who's A-list or, you know, a loose end to be taking any planes or helicopters anytime soon. You know, I'd be bugging in like they are in China, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, CNN, I'm still mad at Trump for allowing Acosta after he hit that woman. You know, they should have gone, you know, off stage. He should have been taken out of the room. You know, she should have had the opportunity in private to, you know, press charges against him or whatever. But, you know, there must be some kind of a contract on that one. And Joe, I don't think he hates us as much as he hates himself. You know, that's why he took that treatment for his pitta disorder way back when. Obviously, the treatment failed. You know, Chris Wallace, man, what can I say? Spook don't fall far from the spook tree. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to tell Bernie. Their names are Seth Rich and Sean Lucas. You know, they were Bernie's two most loyal supporters. They filed an anti-Trump lawsuit against the DNC for, you know, cheating Bernie to help Hillary. With Jared Beck was the lawyer, and they both lost their lives. And Bernie said nothing, didn't continue on the lawsuit, folded like an origami man. You know, yellow-bellied coward, probably, you know, too busy at some boys' ranch in Texas. But Trump will mop the floor with him. I think the most important thing, you know, you guys were talking about knickers. I just got to say, you know, Severett said I've reminded me of Conyers, the Sith Lord, Senator Conyers with his Darksaber, doing the congressional staff meetings in his underwear.
Wow. Wait a minute. Hold on. Like, did he actually do that?
Oh, yeah. It was well known for decades, man. That's why I believe in some college, you know, college loan forgiveness. Because if you spend all those years going to college, you get an internship in D.C., and then you're assigned to Conyers' office, and you got to watch this dude walking around in his underwear, you know, over his overhead projector and everything. Man, anyways, I digress. You can look up the story. You know, they got rid of him real quick because he, you know, they didn't want that to come out later. You know, they covered it up pretty good. But yeah, Senator Conyers helped, you know, Schumer cover for Hillary in Whitewater, a senior member of the Black Caucus, and for decades he was doing Senate staff meetings in his underwear. So if you hadn't heard that one, that's, you know, some of the stuff is funny, but it's not. It's not. You know, the main story is definitely Wuhan. You know, anyone who's downplaying it is a fool.
Yeah.
You know, imagine a city bigger than New York where everybody's bugging in. And those people you see fighting, they're the ones who didn't have some water and some food for their families. That's why they got to go to the store. Don't touch the handrail. Don't touch the doors. Don't touch the change. Don't, you know what I mean? Like, better to, you know, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. But you got to think that she wouldn't be that sloppy and obvious. You know, getting it from Canada back in March, and then the forecasting from the, you know, the Gates Foundation company, having the only biolab in the same city where it broke out. You know, the emergency director of the World Trade Organization died last Thursday. You know, what was his name? Peter Solana. And then when that was right when the story broke, and then released at the largest festival. I mean, that's sloppy. That's sloppy. You know, Black Swan. And if you know, I don't know myself. You know what I mean? I'm not an absolutist. I think in percentages. But he, you know, Xi Jinping, he declared war on Winnie the Pooh, man. So he's not that smart. If you don't know, Winnie the Pooh's illegal in China.
Yeah, because they say that he looks like Xi.
Exactly, exactly. But that's a compliment, man. You know, mockery is the highest form of flattery, and to be compared to Winnie the Pooh, our most beloved children's literature character, right? His advisors should have said, no, you want to be compared to him, but instead he wants to be Batman. You know, so, you know, if he can point this at the United States, though, that's not good, man. That's not good. And so anybody who's peddling false hope, you know, saying everything's going to be no, you know what I mean? If you got a family, you can't take those chances, man. This graph doesn't look anything like the SARS graph. The exponential growth is just, I mean, it's to the roof. You know, it's skyrocketing.
And then the thing about it is that the epicenter is in a very high. It's in a very high populated area. You're talking about 10 million in just Wuhan alone, and then the city that's right next door is Hong Kong. That's like 8 million people. So you're talking about the cities the size of L.A. County, not just L.A. City, but L.A. County and New York City. like respectively,
Yeah,
not just not
Yeah.
just yeah. So like Wuhan is L.A. County and Hong Kong is New York City.
Yep. No, I mean, this is no joke, and so people should be looking at that and thinking, hey, wait a second, if something were to go down that's out of our control, you don't want to be having to go outside. You don't want to have to go to the stores. So if I can convince just one person to prepare for their family, get a water filter and some extra food, then I'm glad I called in.
Definitely.
For me, this is absolutely no joke. When we get to this point in the economy, false flags, black swans and wars, or depressions, come next. And so it's only a matter of time before European Union, we got the Brexit tomorrow, and, basically Mnuchin can tell Trump, that it's time to pull the derivatives bubble out of Deutsche Bank anytime. And it looks like it could get really ugly. And so I tell everybody, hey, man, I pray for you, be safe. Be safe. Don't buy into the, all the everything's going to be fine thing. And I hope it will. And so, but hey, like I said, it's not something you want to gamble with, especially if you got family. Don't let your family down. And the weather, the climate change. If it was greenhouse gases, it would be hotter summers and hotter winters. But it's not. It's hotter summers, colder winters. And so, greenhouse gases don't cause 10 times the asteroids, volcanoes, earthquakes, bees and fish dying off, and whales being beached. You know what I mean? That's all electromagnetic, pole weakening. But I told you about that before on the previous call, and I know you got other callers. But it's always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend.
Oh, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Peace out. Peace out, ABL. I'll talk to you later.
All right, now, peace. Bye. All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me get to the next call. All right. Let's try 302. You on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello.
Yes, caller. Who am I speaking to?
This is actually Sean calling back.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Talking about Kobe.
You said what now?
Kobe.
Okay, Kobe. Yeah.
Yes. So his death was surprising, but if you know what I'm.
All right, caller. Look, man. I know that it's kind of nerve wracking, but you gotta, you gotta just. But here's some advice. I'm not trying to play no games, but just in the mirror, practice your confidence in the mirrors. When you get on the line, you can get through it. Maybe your phone is hanging up. I don't know what's going on, but if you're having problems with confidence, just practice a little bit, man. You'll be all right. Because I know how it is when you're calling into the show, your heart's beating and all this, but just relax. Hey, you're in a safe place, man. I'm not here to attack you or anything like that. But let's get to the next call. 737, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey. Hello?
Yes, caller. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is John.
All righty, John. What's going on?
Hey, man, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the impeachment. What do you think? What's your opinion about it?
I think it's just a political ploy put on by the Democrats because they want to get Trump out of office, and they know they don't have anybody on their side that's going to be able to be successful come 2020 and the election time. So this is all they have. They don't really have anything else. And I think even Maxine Waters said it. We're going to impeach him. The representative from Texas, Al Green, came out and said, well, look, we can only impeach him. That's going to be the only way we can win. We can't do anything else. So it's a political tool meant to try and make Trump look bad for the election.
Well, I'm going to play the devil's advocate here, and I think you are wrong in a few points. One of them is that Democrats, I don't think they're that stupid to steal away the soul of the Democratic primaries, especially right now that they're running. I think their hands were tied because of the whistleblowers' accusations for Trump. I think it would be the right thing to do if they will go forward with the impeachment. This is how I see it, right? So they think that they should do it because. Give me 1 second, please. They think they should have done it because of the whistleblowers' accusations for Trump. Now, there's a lot of things that have come out in the latest news, especially with what's his name, Bolton, I think, about his new book and about that he said that he was firsthand where he knew about everything and everybody was in the loop and all that stuff. So it doesn't seem to me okay, the whole situation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so many things have popped out little by little throughout this process that makes me think, hey, hold on a second. Probably he did something wrong here. Let's not be blindfolded. Let's listen what's going to happen.
Okay, now the thing about it is the Democrats understand basic things about the process. They understand that they'll be able to get this whole thing through the House, but once it goes to the Senate, it's not going to go anywhere for a few reasons. Number one, what he is being accused of does not meet the criteria of high crime misdemeanor. It don't meet that criteria.
Hold on. No,
wait, sir. I'm not finished, sir. I'm not finished. Sir, I gave you the floor. I let you speak. Now it's my turn to speak, so I'm going to speak. Now, sir, I'm not done talking, I'm going to put you on mute, then I'm going to finish talking, and now once I get done talking, I'll let you talk. Now, if what he has done is high crime misdemeanors and is an impeachable offense, then so was what Joe Biden did when he got on TV and said, hey, if you don't fire the prosecutor, we won't give you the aid money. What they're saying Trump has done is what Joe Biden got on TV and said. So if you're going to hold Trump to that standard, hold the former vice president and current presidential candidate to the same standard, but they don't want to do that. So that's why I know it's BS. Second thing is, they know they can get it past the House because they got the control of the House and the Democrats, that is. They have the control of the House. But once it gets to the Senate, they don't have control there. So they know it's going to be a non-starter. It won't go anywhere because the senators are trying to get reelected. They're trying to keep their jobs. Even a person like Joe Manchin in West Virginia is going to vote against it because he's a Democrat, yes, but he's in a conservative state that all went for Trump. Imagine trying to keep your job when they said you were the person that voted against Trump and got him out of office, a guy that they all love. So politics, it doesn't really work. It's not enough really there to get anything, because if it was enough there, then they would say that Joe Biden is guilty as they're trying to charge that Donald Trump is. So how you feel about that?
Okay, so Joe Biden has minimal to nothing to do with it. I'm not saying that because I support Joe Biden, but let's take it one by one with what you said. He has to commit misdemeanors or crimes of some sort to be impeached. No, you're wrong. An unconstitutional act is enough to be impeached. You cannot ask a favor for political purposes to throw dirt to your opponents.
But wait a minute. Who says that he did that?
You said that you have to. You said you have to commit. Who said that he did a quid pro quo?
I said no. The question was, who says that he did what you're saying? Who says that?
Well, first of all, sure, we have.
The question was, who says? Wait a minute, sir. You got to answer the question though. Who says that he did what you're saying that he did? Who says that?
All right, all the experts that testified in front of the Congress. That's one. Secondly, John Bolton just got leaked his new book about, he was first-hand, he knew about this whole story. Like, what else?
So where's the evidence for it, though?
And yet, hold on, give me 1 second, I will go there. Where's
the evidence? Sir, we got time constraints. So, sir, listen, sir, listen to me now. Listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying, sir. Listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
We have time constraints. Listen, you got to be quiet and let me talk. We have time, sir, listen. If you do it one more time, I'm going to hang up on you. All right. Have a good day. I don't got time to be playing around. Look, when I say, let me talk, you got to just pause for a minute and let me talk, because we don't have that kind of time. I hung up on him. We're dealing with time constraints. You can't be on the line for 20 minutes. I'm trying to keep things, decent and flowing. So when I interrupt, let me talk and then I'll let you talk. That's how it goes. So call if you want to call in again. Like another day is fine, but you gotta abide by the rules of the show. All righty. So let's get to the next call. 980, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Is ABL?
Yes, it is. Who am I speaking to?
It's Boosters, my friend. That last idiot needs to shut up. He don't know what he's talking about. First of all, the whole deal with Trump and all that stuff, it's mighty funny that all this stuff come out about Joe Biden and all this stuff that they produced as videos. All they did, that was all propaganda by the Democrats. They all put that video out so Trump would investigate it, because everybody knows Biden ain't who they want to run for president. They're wanting Bernie Sanders. So they're wanting to go through, and they put that video out so Trump would want to look into the situation. And then that way they could file these bullshit charges that they got going on. And now everybody, all the media, the Clinton News Network and CBS, all this other crap, they're out here going through playing these false narratives, all for a political reason, because they know they can't beat the man. They're not going to beat the man. Trump train 2020. You can either get on the train or you can get run over by the train.
Well, that's pretty much what it is.
That's all it is. And hindsight's 2020, son. Like it don't take a rocket science to see this crap. You know what I mean? They know Biden don't have a chance in winning an election. Biden on his best day could not beat Trump on his worst day. The only reason why they put that video out, they started playing it in the news and all, of him talking about how he was holding the aid. He had 6 hours or 5 hours, all that he was talking about or whatever, that he was leaving or he was holding the money and all that. The only reason why they put that out, that was just a puppet. That was just a scheme just to get Trump to go through and to start looking into it, just to pop that little question mark up in the head. Well, let's do some investigation. And because they hadn't even been trying to even say anything about Biden running, and then all of a sudden they popped the video up, and the next thing you know, Biden's running, and then they knew Trump would get lured in to where he goes through and starts investigating it, and then that way they could file these bogus charges just because they want to put that impeachment on him, just to try to discredit the man for all the good that he's done to this country, all the records that he's breaking. They want to do anything and everything they can do completely just to discredit the man, because the man is the best president, hands down, that's been in my lifetime, which is 35 years, and most people's lifetime, period. Like, the man is good at what he does, and we'll see him on election night 2020. We can see him doing all these little crying, all these little tears, all these celebrities and stuff that was going to leave the country and all because he got elected. Well, let's see what they got to say this time around when we get him for another 4 years.
That's right. I can't wait to see it myself. It's going to be something, man. It's going to be great.
All right, you have a good night, buddy.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks, bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him, 1,000%. And the call before, the caller that just called, which was a great call. The call before that, the guy that was, I don't know, it might have been Ivan's dad or something. I'm playing, but I tried to let him talk. But you gotta just, when I interrupt, I'm gonna interrupt you briefly and then let you get the floor, but you can't just talk over me. That's not how the show goes. If you're gonna have a back and forth like a debate or something, I gotta be able to step in and be able to kind of moderate it and at the same time participate, because it's just me on the show. There's not a third party moderating. So that's just kind of how it is. If you don't like it, I understand, but that's just the name of the game. But let me get to the next call. 628, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello.
Yes, who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Marina. How are you?
I'm well. About yourself?
I'm doing good. Am I on the air? Because I can't hear very well.
Oh, you're live on the air. If you have the stream on in the background, please turn it off.
I don't. I'm outside because the kids are watching TV. But I just like to tell you, I'd like to talk about the Joe Biden thing. I know it's kind of washed out a little bit, but my thing is that my outrage comes from the Democrats not trying to find out what happened to the missing $1.8 billion in aid that went into Kolomoisky's personal bank. Now, some of us know Kolomoisky is one of the most corrupt people in Ukraine, and that guy had absolutely no right. They didn't allow him to travel to the United States. They would not allow him a visa prior to Biden going in as the overseer of all the aid and corruption in Ukraine. once that happened, once everybody got involved, then all of a sudden the guy's given a visa and he can travel back and forth to the United States. It is dirty as dirty can be, and I'm thinking, where are the Democrats on that?
I mean, that's a very good point, because if it's about trying to weed out corruption, trying to get those that are engaged in things they shouldn't be engaged in the government, then the clear place to look would be at Joe Biden. Got on TV and said what he was doing. If what Trump allegedly did is wrong and enough to impeach, then surely what Joe Biden said he did on TV is enough to investigate.
Now, Anthony, the thing is, $1.8 billion in aid goes absolutely bonkers missing, absolutely indisputable. Nobody can argue that it went absolutely missing. Nobody can say that no, it's not true. The thing is, Trump goes in, gets elected, knocks everybody on their butt because nobody was expecting it. There was a lot of dirty stuff that was already put down. They were expecting a 16-year Democrat Party.
Yeah.
A lot of things were promised. A lot of things were laid out and ready to go. A lot of people were about to get up and get a lot richer than they were prior. When Trump went in, and he came in like a dog in heat, and he was ravenous, and he wasn't going to take any BS from anybody. All hell breaks loose. The thing is, the man says, wait a minute. I want you to do us a favor. That's a thing that, okay, Trump, that's just the way Trump talks. And he didn't say, do me a favor. He says, do us a favor.
Right.
Because nobody is trying to check on what in the hell is going on up in Burisma, up with the hunters, up with this Ukraine oligarch that we're talking about. When the money for aid goes to an oligarch's personal bank, and there's no trace of it after that, and then more aid is given if they fire the guy that is checking up on Hunter, bad man's son. Oh, no, the Democrats don't want to check on that. They don't want to check on that. God forbid Trump says, I want to check on that. Oh, hell. How dare you go in and try to do some business with an outside foreign government? That is disgusting. I've been a lifelong Democrat. I'm Mexican living in South Central LA all my life. I've walked away because I'm disgusted. It is sick. It is absolutely sick. We're supposed to vote because we're income and equality people, because we're low income, because we're the oppressed and whatever the hell you want to give us a name or title. We're victims, we're whatever. So vote for us, because regardless of what happens, you're indebted to us. What in the hell indebted are we to people that don't do crap for our cities, our schools, and our towns? LA is becoming a cesspool of poop on the streets. People are living in tarps on the sidewalks. You drive from one city across downtown LA, all you're going to see is tarps on the street and poop and needles and crap. But what happens? The Democrats want to go after a man who says, I want to change it up. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. From a Mexican woman, I'm telling you, it's freaking disgusting.
Absolutely. 100%.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good.
So
I mean,
much.
you're saying everything. I mean, I'm agreeing with you 100%. And
I know.
These Democrats, a lot of people, like you said, you lifelong Democrat, and it's like people are just leaving because the party is leaving them. If you're leaving me, why should I stay here? You've gone, you've left. Now I leave, I've left. That's just kind of how it's going.
Reagan said, I did not walk away from the Democrat Party. I didn't leave the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party left me.
That's right.
And that's what I started seeing. I started seeing little by little, because I wasn't paying attention before 18. I wasn't paying attention. I was 100% for Obama because we wanted this to happen for us.
Right.
Us being the Mexican people, us being the African-American people in my city, in my community, us. We were one us. And we wanted to see that. And we wanted him up there. And what I started seeing happening and what I started noticing happening in 2018, where people are being shut down, shut up, don't have an opinion other than our opinion, shaming people that had a difference of opinion, a difference of moral beliefs, a different religious belief, a different any belief. I personally came out begrudgingly. My husband said, don't do it. I said, I'm sick of it. What the hell? Screw it. Who do I owe to shut up for? I don't need to shut up for anybody. Nobody's paying my bills. Nobody's paying my house. Nobody's feeding my kids. I'm doing it. I'm not on anybody's money. I'm on our money. So I came out. Facebook started blasting me. Friends from childhood started calling me, what in the hell are you doing to your own people? What is wrong with you? Oh, my God. Deleted. Gone. Jewish friends, gone. These friends, gone. Everybody blasting me, saying that I was a sellout, blah, blah, blah. You know what? I don't care. Because, again, I need the country to do well. I don't need to be well on Facebook.
Right.
I need to be well in my country. So screw Facebook. I don't care about Facebook. I need to care about reality. Reality is my country, the United States of America, and the reality is that I stand for the man who's trying to wash it all away.
That's right.
Telling me that I'm in a cult. I am not in a freaking cult. People that don't have an opinion or any balls to come out, that's a cult. Sorry.
Oh, it's all good. Well, I thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
Okay, babe. Thanks so much for the work you're doing.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Hey, you know, I'm hearing that all the time. I'm hearing it more and more. And people are just saying, hey, I've had enough. I'm done. This is not working out well for me. You guys are crazy. You're leaving us. You're not helping us. I'm seeing it more and more. And I'm just really, really glad that this is happening. 100%. And thank you to everybody that's here. If you've not liked the video, please go ahead and do that for me right now. And let's get to the next call. Let's go with 760. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yo, what's going on? This is Snapzilla Gorilla. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, but are you on speaker?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, it's kind of like you kind of muffled, huh?
Is this better?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I got a question for you, man.
All right.
So, we're talking about Trump, right?
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you fully support the Constitution?
Well, yeah, I do. Yes.
Right. And do you fully support Donald Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, now, have you heard him talking about calling for strong background checks to purchase firearms?
Not that I've heard, no.
Oh, yes. He said it. And he also is calling for federal red flag laws. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yes. He said that, and he said he's calling for strong background checks, real strong background checks, and he said a couple of guys, I think a couple of senators that would not go for that a couple of weeks ago would probably go for that now. And he also, and of course you know about the him saying he likes takes the guns first, due process second.
Yeah, I think I did hear that back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It sounds like he's not really for the Constitution, and the Second Amendment is probably the strongest amendment we have, the strongest bill in the Bill of Rights. And I mean that's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So what is your take on that?
Well, I think that. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and answer you. Now, I saw him at the rally. Well, I read some of an article. He was at the rally in Jersey, and he was talking about Virginia and how they're going to try to confiscate guns. He was like, it won't happen on his watch. So I think he is a defender of the Second Amendment, but it may be to a certain extent. Now, I would want him to just leave things the way they are, but if he were to change it, I can't say that I would vote for a different person because of that particular thing I disagree with. But I hope that he's able to see the light and not do it. There has been things that he's proposed doing that he wound up not doing because of the backlash he got from us. He listens to us. People are talking. They're saying, hey, don't do this because this ain't really what it is, and then he may change his mind. So hopefully he's able to not actually go through with certain things that he's talking about doing if they are in violation of our rights.
Okay. Now, you are aware he called for the ban of bump stocks, right?
Yeah.
And that actually went through.
Yeah, it went through.
So that right there is enough to say that he already violated the Second Amendment. And I don't understand how a staunch supporter of the Constitution, a staunch supporter of the Second Amendment, could still support Trump.
Now, I got a question for you, though. I got a question for you. Where in the Second Amendment does it say anything about bump stocks?
It doesn't. It says the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Is a bump stock a weapon?
It can be attached to a weapon.
Is it a weapon, though?
You can.
Is it a weapon?
Oh, yeah.
A bump stock. Wait, hold on. A bump stock by itself, the piece of plastic, the attachment, is a weapon by itself?
Yeah. You know why?
Come on.
Can I answer your question?
Go ahead.
The bump stock is a barrel a weapon?
Oh, nah.
Trigger?
Nah, none of it is a weapon, no.
Trip? I mean, so you're splitting hairs here.
It's
the
not.
fact of the matter is yes, you are. The bump stock is not used as a paperweight. It becomes part of a weapon, a part of a firearm. And so shall not be infringed, it means shall not be infringed. And I don't understand how we can justify.
but let's be honest. A bump stock is not a weapon. You know, you gotta. It's not a weapon. You cannot just shoot somebody with a bump stock by itself. Come on, like it's an attachment that goes on a weapon. Like it doesn't. What you're saying doesn't make any sense. The full weapon, the receiver, the trigger, all of that creates a weapon that would be functional and shoot. That is a weapon. That is arms. A bump stock is not arms. Now, I'm not saying I agree with the bump stock ban, but a bump stock is not a weapon. So you're talking about Constitution. That's not bearing arms. It's a attachment that goes on arms. It is not the arm itself. When you're talking about law, you get laughed out of the court talking about a bump stock as a weapon because it's not a weapon.
Yes, because the justice system that's in place is not in place to protect the Second Amendment or the Constitution. So you're absolutely right. I will get laughed out. And, you know for a fact that a buffer spring is not a freaking weapon, right? It's not a firearm. Firing pin is not a firearm. All that stuff are not firearms. But when you assemble the thing and it comes together, it is a firearm. And so really what you're doing is chasing around Robin.
No.
And I don't understand
because you're comparing things. You're comparing things that are not the same. To have a weapon, you need certain parts to create a weapon. A bump stock is not required to be part of those things to create the weapon. That's a fact.
That's not relevant. That's irrelevant.
It is relevant because you're comparing things that aren't the equivalent, because you're comparing things that are required to make the weapon. If you don't have certain parts of the weapon, it will not be functional. If you don't have a bump stock, wait, hold on. If you don't have the bump stock, it will still be functional. So you can't compare things that are required to things that are not required.
Okay, so let me compare it to a foregrip. Is a foregrip necessary fire weapon?
No, it's not.
What about a muzzle brake?
Nah. I mean, you got to have certain things to, like, what's your point?
My point is, what if they ban, it's a slippery slope. What if they ban foregrips federally? What if they ban muzzle brakes federally?
I mean,
and just you have. Now, I mean, you don't need the AR to have a weapon. You can have a shotgun or you can have a slingshot. Where do we stop?
I think we're comparing. I think we're like you're talking about things like you're trying to say Constitution. Trying to be constitutionalist, and you're talking about accessories. The Constitution says the right to bear arms shall not be infringed, not the right to bear accessories. Okay. Wait a minute. It does not say the right to bear accessories to firearms shall not be infringed. That's not what it says. So if you're talking about Constitution, then let's talk about that. Let's not talk about because if you frame it in the sense of do you agree with this just in general, then I would say no, I don't agree with it. But if you try to say you can't support him because he's anti-constitutional. I say, wait up a minute. It does not say this. It does not say that. You can't just say, oh, because you don't agree with it, and then this particular amendment loosely applies, then you're not for the Constitution. That's not how that works.
No, that is how that works. Either you're for the Constitution, either you're for the Second Amendment, or you're not.
But
the fact of the matter is,
the Constitution does not say anything about accessories. So you're creating a thing that's not there. If you're going to talk about things that are there, talk about things that are there, not things that are not there.
What about the Fourth Amendment? A person shall be secure in his papers, persons, and effects.
Okay,
so bump stock is in effect. So you're going to create a prohibition that at midnight is going to make you a felon if you decide to keep it.
Effect? How was it in effect? What, like, huh?
So you're going to create arbitrary laws to make a person a felon that has done nothing wrong to someone else.
What?
So that's also in the Constitution.
Nah, we're comparing things. We're talking about a lot of different things. So let's talk about the first thing, the Fourth Amendment. Wait, how is a bump stock in effect?
It's persons, papers, and effects, like things that you own, your property.
Okay, but what makes it in effect? Is there a legal precedent that makes a bump stock in effect, or things like bump stocks effects?
You need a legal precedent to understand.
I mean, we're talking about law. We're talking about law. Like I don't care nothing about nothing. We're talking about law because that's what it is, right? At the end of the day, we're talking about law. We ain't talking about nothing else. Because I can say I don't agree with it, but when it comes to the law, that's not nothing to do with me agreeing or not agreeing. So what legal precedent is there to say that a bump stock would be in effect, or a thing like a bump stock would be in effect? Where's the precedent for that? If there's one, then okay, that's fine. But do you know what it is?
Let me tell you something. I don't care about legal precedent because.
But like if you don't, then you'll come out the Constitution then.
That's all the time that can go against the Constitution. The fact of the matter is, politicians are not for the Constitution. So they create laws that violate people's rights all the time. They send police on the streets to violate your rights all the time. Are you familiar with 18 U.S. Code 242?
No.
Okay, so that's a code that dictates that if you violate a person's rights under the color of law, then you can be fined, or you shall be fined, and imprisoned for up to 12 months. And if you kidnap or attempt to kidnap someone while violating their rights under the color of law, then you can be sentenced to life or death.
So what is the color of law?
The color of law, that means that you say, okay, I'm a police officer, you're wearing a mask, and I don't like that, you're suspicious. Give me your identification, let me see your face. And you say, no, what law did I break? It doesn't matter, I want to see your face, I want identification. He can't tell you what law you broke because he didn't break no law. So he's going to arrest you because you refuse to identify yourself either with a picture ID or by giving him your name and showing him your face. So because he doesn't like that you didn't comply with an arbitrary command, he's going to arrest you. That's called kidnapping. And under the 18 U.S. Code 242, he could be sentenced to death for that. But do we enforce it? No. We allow police officers, politicians to run around creating arbitrary laws and enforcing arbitrary laws that violate our rights every day. And that's the fact. So even though you want to call a bump stock not a firearm, fine. But he did say those other things that I said, which already makes him against the Constitution. The fact that he even mentioned it, like, why would you even mention that?
I mean, I think we disagree here, but you know, I mean, I think I'm with you on some things, but not on some things. Like what I'm with you on is the fact that I'm not for some things that he's calling for as far as gun control is concerned, but I don't think it violates the Constitution. That's where we differ, and I don't think we're gonna make any headway here. So I thank you for the call, man. I enjoyed this, man. You know, it's all great. The chat, they definitely are enjoying it. Some say you're right, some say I'm right. But go ahead with your final question.
Is a red flag law unconstitutional?
I don't know.
It is.
Okay, and
it is.
And what does it violate?
It violates the right to due process. So somebody who's pissed at you can say, "Oh, he has a pistol. Go with his house and take his stuff," without due process. without even a charge. They can go to your house and take your stuff. And people have died under that red flag law in certain states. And he's calling for a federal red flag law. And Brian Babin and Dan Crenshaw is calling for the TAPS Act, which is a red flag law on steroids. And this is what is being pushed through is a bipartisan bill that's going through Congress right now.
All right.
What's going to happen once it Senate, and what's going to happen once it reaches Trump's desk? That's the question.
Well, hopefully it does not go through federally, but I got to end it right here. You've been on for a while. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Peace. All righty. That was my man. I forget his name, but that's my man. You called him before. So what do y'all think? Do you think he had a point about violating the Constitution? Do you think a bump stock is a weapon? And how about, I'm against red flag laws, but are they anti-Constitution? Because when you're talking about that, now you're talking about some legalese and lawyer stuff. That's a whole different world that I may not know everything about, but I do know that a bump stock is not a firearm. Bump stock is an accessory. You can create a weapon without a bump stock and have it still fire and shoot and kill, but it is what it is. All righty. Let's go with 732. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, man, what's up? This is Nicholas again. Hey, man, I got an icebreaker question for you, and then I got a real topic I want to talk about. Icebreaker is, you get a hold of one of the Popeye sandwiches yet?
I've not had one of those sandwiches. I thought they stopped selling them.
Oh, no, man, they're still going hot.
Oh, I might have to get one. I might have to scoop one up.
Yeah, they're pretty good, man. And if you're ever out in the Midwest, you definitely got to hit up Slim Chickens, too. Remember that, Slim Chickens.
All righty.
All right, so what I really called about was, because I know you're a real big basketball fan, man. So with Kobe and his daughter and the other 7 individuals dying in the helicopter crash, tragic event, and Hollywood's definitely come out and, wants to honor him in every way. The NBA's been trying to honor him. A lot of players changing their numbers and stuff. That's great. But I just want to get your take on, like, the Grammy in memoriam they did. I think it was kind of, I'm not going to say distasteful, because they tried, but they basically were doing a collage of Nipsey Hussle songs and then put a picture of Nipsey Hussle and Kobe up there together. And to me, that just, it seems like two different ends of the spectrum. You got Nipsey, I'm sorry, never heard of him. I listened to hip hop my whole life, never heard of him. But obviously Kobe, people with Cave heard about Kobe. So what's your take on that, man?
Well, I think that it was kind of slapped together last minute because, I mean, Kobe had just died when the Grammys, like, people were on the red carpet hearing about it for the first time. So it just happened that night. And the whole thing with Nipsey Hussle had already been planned for a long time because he had died, and he's a music guy. He was not successful, but he's a L.A. dude. Kobe died in L.A., so they had to do something. So they probably just said, okay, let's just put them up there together. Although normally they probably wouldn't have done that. But since it just happened and they had to do something, that's probably why they did it. But yeah, they're definitely not in the same league with each other. Nipsey Hussle was a gangbanger, admittedly, a drug dealer, admittedly. I'm not trying to throw dirt on his name. I'm just trying to say what he said out of his own mouth. He was a gang member. And it's unfortunate that he died, and may he rest in peace. And, he had I think he had at least 1 or 2 children, and he had his girl, Lauren London. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, Kobe was in a whole different league, a worldwide icon, a whole different situation. But yeah, I think it was more just about
videos of them like together in the studio or whatever. There's videos of them together, so they did know each other. They interacted before.
Yeah.
So I will give them that.
Yeah, but I don't think that they would have normally been put together. I think that was just because of the situation that happened.
Yeah, I think it'll be much better because I'm sure they're going to do something at the Oscars, even though they always do the in memoriam at the Oscars for everybody, even like sound technicians and stuff like that, that are well known, I guess, in the industry and passed away. I'm sure they're going to do something for Kobe, even because actually Kobe did win an Oscar.
Yeah.
For something, I think he had a short or something like that. He won out. So yeah, I guess it would be appropriate there too. But I'm sure it'll be much better at the actual Academy Awards.
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
Actually, and while I was waiting to get on, I see that Vanessa has officially released a statement. So I gotta get on after I get off with you and check out what she said.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, hey, thanks, ABL, man. You have a great night, man.
Hey, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Oh, hey, I almost forgot. Shout out to Jericho Green too, man. Love him.
Yeah, shout out Jericho Green, my man.
Talk to you later, man. Bye.
All right, now take care. All right, shout out to the caller, but that'll be a wrap for me tonight. Thank y'all for being here. This show done flown by. We are at 11 o'clock already. Man, I almost didn't catch it. But thank y'all for being here. I most certainly appreciate you. And shout out to everybody that's called in. You guys are fantastic. Without you, there is no me, 100%. And shout out to the super chatters. Shout out to Zedochis King Sword, my man, who says, ABL, I just wanted to recommend a YouTube video called Washington Legislature Approves Woke Task Force by Benjamin A. Boyce. Washington State Senate voted HB 1783, or you could just look up Washington State House Bill 1783 real quick. It's communism pretty much. Yeah, that's that's interesting. I gotta check it out. Thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. And shout out to Milos, who says, I find it funny that mainstream media calls your president a dictator. If he were really a dictator, would they openly insult him and his family with impunity? That's a very good point. If he was a dictator, it wouldn't be no media talking about whatever they want to talk about. You be in the gulag making big rocks into little rocks. That'd be how that goes. You're not going to be able to do whatever you want to do in the dictatorship. He has all kind of checks and balances. If he was a dictator, that wall would have been built. It would have had Trump all on the top with gold, and you'd be able to go there and drink and gamble, all that kind of stuff. Now he's got to try to get funds from over here and over there to try to slap it together, all this and that, with all kind of compromises. There's all kind of checks and balances on the president. He is not a dictator, but to those that are uneducated, to those that want to be misled by the mainstream media, or those that are just brainwashed against their will, kids and everything else, they'll believe in the term dictator, go out there and just parrot it. But thank you for your donation, man. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Elijah Jean as well for her donation, who says, honored to be listening. Life changes here, but much respect for you being solid boots on the ground, giving people a voice. Thank you for your donation and your very kind words as always. I definitely appreciate you. But that will be a wrap for me. Shout out to the moderators. You guys do a great job. And shout out to my man Sushi, who says, people worried about a bump stock. I want an army tank. I want to take my right to bear arms to the limit. There you go. Exactly. Give me a full tank. Give me the whole shebang. I want to be able to do whatever I want. I want to be able to roll over your line with my tank. And what you going to do about it? I'm knocking your gnome down. I'm knocking all that good stuff down. Alrighty, but thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. But I got to go ahead and roll on out. Did I get everybody? Oh, the moderators. We got Michelle A. We got True Helper. We got Killer Sushi. We have Ansel, Bill from the Hills, Liza Jean, Zealand Zen, the whole squad. Thank you for being here. Definitely appreciate you. If you're listening to this on a audio streaming platform, please like it however you can over there. I don't know what it is, giving it the 5 stars or the reviews or whatever. Just like it over there. If you're on YouTube, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, hit the bell as well. Share it if you can. I don't want nobody getting nobody fired, but share it if you can. And I think that'll be a wrap. I'll be back live on YouTube Saturday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern time to 11 p.m. Eastern time, and then that'll be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.